Central Ohio Sports Network's broadcast will begin in less than 5 minutes. I'm Brent Ford, voice of the Westerville Central Warhawks on COSN. Glad you could be with us. Stay tuned. Warhawk pregame is right around the corner in less than 5 minutes. This is Central Ohio Sports Network's broadcast coverage of the Westerville Central Warhawks. Our Warhawk pregame will begin in less than 4 minutes. Keep it right here on Central Ohio Sports Network. Central Ohio Sports Network, our coverage of Westerville Central will begin in less than 3 minutes right here on COSN. Warhawk pregame coming right up. We've hit the 2-minute warning. Warhawk pregame is coming right up on Central Ohio Sports Network. Warhawk pregame begins in 1 minute. Our broadcast presentation of the Westerville Central Warhawks. It's coming up right here on COSN. "30 seconds until showtime. Warhawk pregame is about to get underway right here, COSN. Central Ohio Sports Network broadcast presentation of the Westerville Central Warhawks begins in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
From the Ohio News Network, this is the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football. Named Best Sports Program in the Country by the National Association of State Radio Networks. Tonight in High School Football is presented by Beck's Hybrids and by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Now here's your host, Skip Mossick.
And hi again, everyone. Welcome to week number 4 of the high school football season across Ohio, where we've seen the number of undefeated teams shrink after the first 3 weeks, and that number will go down again after tonight as we have several unbeatens facing off with each other. Some terrific matchups as always around the state, and we'll begin our week 4 previews next on the Ohio News Network.
Friday night, Under the Lights reminds us teamwork, dedication, and community start in our schools. I'm Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wenson, and on behalf of the OEA's 120,000 members, we are proud to sponsor tonight's game and even prouder to support our public schools. Whether it's touchdowns or textbooks, success starts with a strong foundation. From the classroom to the end zone, we believe in every student's potential because in Ohio, public education matters.
Every day, farmers rise before the sun and put everything they have into a job so few can do. Their courage, resilience, and relentless work shape the legacies and future of our country. At Beck's, we're proud to stand alongside those who don't wait to see what the world will do. They act, they lead, they are the difference. Beck's honors your commitment to your land, family, and purpose. And while we can't predict what the future holds, there is one thing we can do to change it, and that's be the difference. Right now, in every decision and every season.
This is Tonight in High School Football on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Skip Mossick.
We are presented by Beck's Hybrids at Beck's. They are and will remain farmers at heart. And welcome back, everyone. We'll begin our Week 4 previews in the northeastern region of the state. Our first stop is up in Stark County in a matchup between unbeatens as Uniontown Lake plays host to Massillon Perry. Lake coach Dan DeGeorge says they'll need to play their best game of the season.
For us, it's going to be a huge task. By far the best team we've played to date. We're going to have to play really, really good defense and tackle well because Perry likes to run the football. And then offensively, we got to find a way to hit some big plays because defensively, they're very stout.
Good one in Wayne County has Downton playing at Smithville. Both are 3-0. Next up to Cuyahoga County, and another matchup between unbeatens as Cuyahoga Heights welcomes in Wycliffe. Cuyahoga Heights coach Al Martin knows his team will need to play well.
Wycliffe beat us last year fairly convincingly, and they have a ton of guys back, really well-coached football team who's physical and a lot of really high-end talent, a lot of speed at the skill position. So they're a real challenge for us.
Next to Geauga County, Gates Mills Hawken will host Geneva. Both are 3-0. Hawken coach Mark Imerino says Geneva will stress any defense.
Ball control team. They do a great job. They scored 63 points last week and shut out their opponent. So it'll be a tall task for us, and hopefully we can keep playing the way we've been playing, and we look forward to a great contest.
Some good ones in Mahoning County this evening. Paynesville Riverside is 3-0. Tonight they're at 2-1. Austintown Fitch. Riverside coach Jeremy Ishmael says Fitch is the real deal.
They have two very good running backs, and they're very skilled and very talented on the outside from a receiver standpoint. So definitely we'll have our hands full with their offense, and then from a defensive standpoint, they just, man, you want to talk about athletes and guys who just fly to the football. They're definitely a very challenging football team.
Elsewhere, Columbiana Crestview will play at Youngstown Liberty. Both are 3-0. Crestview coach Dominic Perry says Liberty presents lots of challenges.
They're very physical up front on both sides of the ball. Linebackers are very aggressive. Offensively, they have talent in a lot of areas, specifically the Moody kid and the Tutwiler kid. They really present challenges for us.
Another matchup of unbeatens features Canfield playing at Poland, a team that Canfield coach Joe Ignazio says will make you work.
They certainly present a problem at the quarterback position, along with other skilled kids. They're going to spread the ball all over the place, but we've got to make sure that we concentrate on a very talented quarterback and then, they're physical defensively.
South into Columbiana County, East Palestine is 3-0. Tonight they host 2-1 David Anderson. East Palestine coach Mike Dempster knows his defense will need to play well.
They've got a stellar tailback who is going to be very hard for us to bring down. He provides a lot of problems for us. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. They got a very athletic quarterback. So, between those two guys up front, they've got just about everybody back. So they've got a lot of experience.
Goodwin in Jefferson County has 3-0 Toronto, hosting 2-1 Newcomerstown. Next into Central Ohio, Goodwin in Franklin County. Cross-state matchup as Columbus DeSales plays host to Hamilton Baden. Both are 3-0. DeSales coach Ryan Wiggins.
These guys have been the best team in the GCL conference. We've crossed paths, a few times over the last few years, and their kids are physical. They're good up front. They really run to the ball well on defense.
Good matchup in Hilliard as Davidson plays host to Darby. Both are 2-1. Grandview Heights is off to a 3-0 start. Tonight they host 2-1 Bexley. Bexley coach Mike Kerr says Grandview poses all kinds of challenges.
Very, very talented team, obviously, with their running back and defensive line. They pose a lot of problems for us, but our kids are excited about playing and looking forward to the challenge.
North into Delaware County, Olentangy Orange looks to remain perfect on the season. Tonight they host 2-1 Gahanna. Orange coach Wes Schrader.
They got us last year. It was our first loss here last year. They're athletic. They got some big guys up front that cause some havoc, and they're going to bring pressure and try to make us a little uncomfortable. So we're excited for the challenge, and we're looking forward to Friday night.
West into Madison County. West Jefferson is 3-0. Tonight they host 2-1 Cedarville. West Jeff coach Sean Busher expects a tough challenge.
A team that's going to present a lot of challenges. They're 2-1. So we're excited about that, being able to play them at this point. Both have been winning records, and our kids have been extremely focused on getting better each day. We're looking forward to Friday night.
Coming up as we continue getting you ready for your game broadcast, we'll hit the Northwest, Southwest, and Southern areas of the state as the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football, presented by Beck's Hybrids and by Ohio for Responsible Gambling, continues on the Ohio News Network.
Beck's recognizes this week's player with heart, Christopher Kinsey from Cardington Lincoln High School, for his commitment and passion on the field and within the farming community.
I've been playing with these kids since I was in 5th grade, so you kind of build like a brotherhood and like the camaraderie that you have, not just about the game, just like kind of life itself, responsibility, knowing where to be. Resilience is a big one too. I feel like I've gained from it.
Lessons in football, lessons in FFA.
The things I learned, and I knew that I wanted to have, hopefully maybe an ag background in my life. I've showed livestock since I was, very young, and so it was just kind of a given.
And of course, the importance of agriculture.
There's family generation farms that, that's their whole life, and agriculture, that's the stuff that brings your community around. Yeah, I think it's just the most important thing ever. People underestimate it.
At Beck's, we are and will remain farmers at heart.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Poorly imitated, never duplicated. This is ONN's Tonight in High School Football. Once again, here's Skip Mossick.
We are presented by Beck's Hybrids and by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. And welcome back, everyone. Our Week 4 previews continue now as we head north into Richland County. 3-0 Gallion will play at 3-0 Shelby, a team that Gallion coach Matt Dick says is loaded.
Exceptionally talented quarterback, unbelievable receiver, and they got a huge O-line with lots of other athletes that make it very, very tough on the defense. And then on the other side of the ball, defensively, they got some really, really big athletic defensive ends, and just the whole defense is a lot of 6-foot tall, rangy kids that run around with the football.
Up Route 4 to Sandusky County, Fremont Ross will play host to Toledo Whitmer. Both are 2-1. Meanwhile, Kansas Lakota will host Woodmore. Both are 3-0. Lakota coach Ryan Lozier says his team had better be ready to play.
Woodmore's going to run at us. They're fast and physical up front, and if we're not ready to handle that physicality, they can take it to us. But I feel like our kids are ready.
Northwest into Lucas County. Perrysburg will play at Holland Springfield. Both are 2-1. Perrysburg coach Dirk Connor says they must eliminate Springfield's big play capabilities.
They've got speed and athleticism everywhere, offense, defense, and special teams. When you watch them on offense, it's going to be an absolute premium that we tackle well and that we get a lot of guys running to the football. A lot of their plays have come from a guy making one guy miss and then he's gone, and so we got to make sure we put ourselves in position to tackle well.
South into Wood County, Pemberville Eastwood will host Rossford. Both are 2-1. Eastwood coach Sam Cotterman wants a fast start to this one and knows his defense will need to step up.
With Rossford, anytime you have a quarterback who can run the ball well, that gives you an extra blocker in the box, which makes it more difficult for your defense. For us, offensively against their defense, we just got to come out and have a strong start, which we haven't had.
Next into Putnam County, Lipsick is 3-0. Tonight they're at 2-1, Pandora Gilboa. Lipsick coach Joe Kirkendall says his offense will need to match Pandora Gilboa's physicality.
Pandora's a very veteran group. Very, very well coached on the defensive side of the ball, very stout up front. They're going to be very disciplined and be very aggressive. They're going to come after us. It's going to cause some young guys to have to kind of step up and make some adjustments and make some plays.
South into Dark County, New Bremen will be at Versailles. Both are 3-0. New Bremen coach Chris Schmidt says despite being unbeaten, the focus is on improvement.
Our kids know that we need to get better and are working to get better. It's a big game this week. Versailles always poses a challenge in terms of their physicality and size, and they're just well coached.
Southwest into Hamilton County. Good ones there feature Cincinnati Anderson hosting Lebanon. Both are 3-0. Anderson coach Evan Dreyer knows who they need to stop.
Their senior quarterback, Luke, has had a great season. We have to be able to contain him. He's done an unbelievable job the last 2 weeks of getting the ball out of his hands and putting huge numbers and stats within their offense. He's the catalyst for everything.
Another matchup of unbeatens has LaSalle hosting Elder. LaSalle coach Pat McLaughlin says there will be some defensive challenges.
Very good football team, solid on offense, defense, special teams. Coach Ramsey's done a good job for a long time. They'll be very well coached. We got to stop the quarterback who's really good. We got to be able to stop the run.
A couple of good ones in Claremont County have 3-0 Hillsboro playing at 3-0 Williamsburg. Meanwhile, Miami Trace is 3-0. They're at 2-1 Batavia. Miami Trace coach Jerry Williams hopes to get some key offensive weapons back from injury.
We recently have been bitten by the injury bug, and we hope to get back on track scoring this week as we get some of our playmakers back. We'll need another strong outing as Batavia's offense can certainly create some challenges.
Some good ones in Southern Ohio tonight. Pike County, 2-1 Piketon will host 2-1 Zane Trace. Meanwhile, in Athens County, 2-1 Alexander will play at 3-0 Athens. Alexander coach Corey Bean says his guys are ready for this one.
Athens has great team speed. They're very well coached, and we are more than prepared to have a tremendous battle. Rivalries are the greatest test of character and resilience. and we're ready to go.
Should be a good one in Washington County as 3-0 Waterford will host 2-1 Fort Fry. And we'll be back to wrap up this week's edition of the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football, presented by Beck's Hybrids and by Ohio for Responsible Gambling, next on the Ohio News Network.
Friday night, Under the Lights reminds us teamwork, dedication, and community start in our schools. I'm Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wenson, and on behalf of the OEA's 120,000 members, we are proud to sponsor tonight's game and even prouder to support our public schools. Whether it's touchdowns or textbooks, success starts with a strong foundation. From the classroom to the end zone, we believe in every student's potential because in Ohio, public education matters.
Every day, farmers rise before the sun and put everything they have into a job so few can do. Their courage, resilience, and relentless work shape the legacies and future of our country. At Beck's, we're proud to stand alongside those who don't wait to see what the world will do. They act, they lead, they are the difference. Beck's honors your commitment to your land, family, and purpose. And while we can't predict what the future holds, there is one thing we can do to change it, and that's be the difference. Right now, in every decision, and every season.
This is ONN.
And that'll put a wrap on week number 4 of Tonight in High School Football. As always, wherever your team's in action, hopefully they're going to come out on top. For Brian Mays, I'm Skip Mossick. Enjoy your game broadcast. This is the Ohio News Network.
This has been the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football, presented by Beck's Hybrids and by Ohio for Responsible Gambling from the Ohio News Network.
The following is a broadcast presentation of Central Ohio Sports Network. Welcome to Warhawk Pregame on Central Ohio's Sports Network.
The Warhawks of Westerville Central coming off a win last week against Bell Fountain at home, the first home win for head coach Josh Franke. And they're looking to continue that streak as they play host to the Celtics of Dublin Jerome. It'll be a hard-fought battle here on Teacher Appreciation Night as Westerville Central honors those teachers that have had a positive impact on their lives in the classroom and on the field. Coach Schaber being recognized along with others who have really impacted a lot of these students. Wes Minke is on the sideline. We're going to hear from head coach Josh Franke. I'm Brent Ford, and we're going to preview this matchup between the Celtics of Dublin Jerome and the Warhawks of Westerville Central. Inside Warhawk pregame next on Central Ohio Sports Network.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Warhawk Pregame on Central Ohio Sports Network.
Welcome inside Warhawk pregame here on COSN. Brent Ford along with Wes Minke inside our pregame coverage. And welcome to week number 4 of the high school football season. And Westerville Central has a very strong challenge ahead of them tonight. They have to take on Dublin Jerome. The Celtics are 3-0 coming into this one. Westerville Central 1-2 in the matchup. Of course, the Warhawks coming off their first win at home under head coach Josh Franke last week. 23-6 against Bell Fountain. The Chieftains had a great quarterback, but unfortunately it was Westerville Central who really found their groove in that game and found a way to get in the end zone for the first time on the season. And when we bring in the state champion bowler, Wes Minke, from the sideline, Wes, last week it was a great performance by Westerville Central, and they had themselves quite the evening last Friday night.
Yeah, and I think it was a mixed effort across the board. I think obviously Nate Miller played one of his best games of the season to this date. And on top of that, Kevin King-Foku obviously showed up in a big way. This rushing attack was multifaceted on offense for the Warhawks as well. Not only Foku, but also Omar Bangura played a huge effort in that game. The defense stepped up big time. It was an all-around great effort from the Warhawks, and by far the best game they put on tape so far this season.
Wes, when you look at the defense, what really stands out with how they played last week and how they can transition that into this game tonight?
Well, I mentioned to you earlier, I think the corner play and the safety play have been the biggest factor for the Warhawks this season so far. And I think if their corners continue to play the way they have recently, which is more, stable and kind of down to the ground, not trying to make those crazy plays or pick a pass off or jump a route, I think when they play concerted, they play a smart effort game on defense, they played a whole lot better. But like I mentioned to you, big receivers tonight, small corners, a long, lanky secondary for the Warhawks in the safety room. So there's a lot of kind of factors that play into this game and have to look good for the Warhawks to stay close in it. I mentioned to you last night, and you asked obviously in the Minky mailbox, but Nick Creaky has to have a big game tonight. Obviously that 6'4", lanky safety, he's got to cover a lot of ground, get around, help these corners out.
I was actually just going to bring that up. Minky's mailbox was packed full of questions that were really important, I thought, coming into the game. But one that really sticks out into my mind is how are they going to continue to utilize all these big playmakers offensively? Omar Bangura, Cam Hebner, Kevin King-Foku, Johnson, Nate Miller, the freshman quarterback. Keep naming some names, and you've got a nice array of good players back there. The offense has to come out firing, especially when you win the toss and elect to receive.
And the one game, the person that sticks out the most to me so far has had to be Cam Hebner. He hasn't touched the scoreboard. He's been kind of quiet in games thus far. 5 catches, 48 yards last game. He played a bigger factor than most people would like to admit or even saw in the box score on the field. But I think his effort and the ability to move around on the offense, create that motion pre-snap with Omar Bangura, it makes the defense respect him, at least from the aspect of a possession receiver. He's not the guy who's going to burn you downfield. He's not the guy who's going to hurt you, in the quick motion game. It's going to be Bangura, but I think that factor of him being there as a possession receiver, I like to think of it as a Mike Williams versus the Keenan Allen kind of guy. Obviously, for the Chargers, the biggest factor is Keenan Allen, right? He sticks out in the big way possession guy. That's Cam Hebner. He's the possession guy. He doesn't have that blazing speed. He's not going to beat you on the sideline. He's not going to have a crazy over-the-middle route. He's going to be that 9-10 yards a pop kind of guy, but he has to play that game for the Warhawks to be successful.
Westerville Central and Dublin Jerome getting prepared to face off here at Warhawk Field. We continue our preview next, and we'll talk with Westerville Central head coach Josh Frankie after this on Central Ohio Sports Network.
Phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait. Attention on the road, that's the only way. Phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Ohio at highschoolofficials.com.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Warhawk Pregame on Central Ohio Sports Network.
Welcome back inside Warhawk pregame, Central Ohio Sports Network. Brent Ford joined with Westerville Central head coach Josh Frankie. Coach, when you're looking at this game, Dublin Jerome is coming in at 3-0 right now. Really a tough opponent. They have a quarterback that's looks like they can run the ball a little bit, and he can throw in the pocket a little bit too. How do you want to contain that kind of quarterback in tonight's game?
Honestly, I think it's nothing different than what we've seen so far. Rain St. Clair was athletic. He could run and get out. Westerville South's quarterback was really mobile guy. So I don't think it's anything our defense hasn't seen, and we just have to emphasize making sure that you're taking care of the rush lanes and you got gap protection and you're playing gap sound. And as long as we do that, I think we'll be all right.
How are your shoulders feeling? You got the weight of that first home win off of them. You feel a little more comfortable coming into Warhawk Field?
Absolutely, man. The first win of the season is always the hardest. So now we're here. You feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more comfortable. I got a little bit of confidence. I think the team feels kind of the same way.
Coach, you said you're always sucking on some suckers or cough drops last week for being a little sick. You got anything in the pocket tonight? Cough drops?
Cough drops. The cough's gone, but we're going back to the cough drop, man. Superstition. So here we go.
I've got those as well. Your defense, when you look at how they want to take on this offense, how do you want them to perform in the secondary in this game?
We just need to keep everything in front of us. They're going to get theirs. I mean, they throw the ball a lot. They have great receivers, good quarterback. Like, they're going to make catches. We just can't make them like 60, 80, yard catches. Like, I'm okay with a 15-yard catch here or there as long as we keep it in front of us and we just kind of eliminate those big plays downfield. If we can make them sustain, 10, 15-yard play or drives all the way down, then I just don't think they're built to do that.
You have a good run game. You got some good receivers in the short game. But how do you want Nate Miller, your freshman quarterback, to manage this game tonight?
Just take care of the ball, make good decisions. Don't try to do too much. I think there's times where, he like last week, he took a sack where he could have easily just thrown the ball away. And that's, I've tried to, emphasize that. And he's a competitor. And just try to emphasize, like, hey, man, like, sometimes a throwaway and get to third down is way better than taking a sack and then it's, 3rd and 23. So.
Teacher Appreciation Night, how important is it to acknowledge those that are in the school building?
I think it's huge because I think it's a profession that doesn't get enough appreciation, to be honest with you. I mean, these teachers have such huge impacts on these kids and, they're kids. And a lot of times they don't know how to communicate their appreciation. So this just gives them an opportunity and an opportunity for some of our teachers to realize, like, they made an impact on a kid that, maybe they didn't even realize. And I think as a teacher, those are the ones that feel the best. Like, you got kids that appreciate you, but every once in a while you get that one kid that comes and tells you something and you walk away and you're like, I never realized I had that big of an impact on them. So I think that's why tonight's important.
Coach, best of luck tonight.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
That's Westerville Central head coach Josh Frankie. When we come back, kickoff from Warhawk Field on COSN.
This has been Warhawk Pregame on Central Ohio Sports Network.
Welcome to today's game. This is Paul Keels, and you know how much I love broadcasting the Buckeyes, but I also love high school sports. On behalf of the OHSAA, let's all do our part to set a good example and make this a fun and safe experience for the kids involved. I know this game means so much to the players, coaches, and fans, but high school sports are about much more than the wins and losses. They teach life lessons that will be with the players long after their playing days are over. Good luck to both teams, and remember to respect the game.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. A referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Ohio did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Connect with Central Ohio Sports Network on Twitter and Instagram at COSN Audio, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Central Ohio Sports Network. COSN social media will have score updates, pictures from the game, audio clips, interviews, and more. Follow and like today. Central Ohio Sports Network. Sports coverage by the fans.
The Warhawks of Westerville Central getting set to take on the Celtics of Dublin Jerome. Welcome inside Central Ohio Sports Network's broadcast presentation of Westerville Central Warhawk football. The Celtics of Dublin Jerome have taken the field, and the Warhawks getting ready to do the same here at Warhawk Field from the campus of Westerville Central High School. The bells have sound, and the Warhawks are making their way toward the tunnel right now to come out onto the field. The smoke is lit, and the Warhawks are in position. Brent Ford with you. Wes Minke will be on the sidelines. He'll bring us all the info and analysis as well from the sidelines where Westerville Central will be held on this home side. Westerville Central won the opening toss and elected to receive. They will try to score into the north end zone, and here are the Warhawks of Westerville Central. The Celtics are in their gold helmets, white tops, and green pants for this game. Westerville Central has gone with the white tops, or I should say the white helmets, and the gray-silver jerseys with the white pants. Black numerals outlined in white for Westerville Central, and they are ready and primed for tonight's matchup against Dublin Jerome. Dublin Jerome led by probably a legendary head coach in Central Ohio, Coach Mark Crabtree. And that's someone who has really turned things around for Dublin Jerome in 3 games of play for the Celtics. And we'll get to see the Westerville Central offense first to start this one tonight, led by the freshman quarterback, Nate Miller. Well, let's go down to the sideline and bring in Wes Minke for what it feels like down there at field level right now for this big-time matchup.
A little choked up on smoke, but I like the calmness of Coach Frankie and the Warhawks right now. I think this is a big game. Brett, you mentioned it. It's obviously not as big as a North or South game, but this is a huge game for Westerville Central's season, not only to justify what they've done in last week's action, but also for tonight. They got to prove a point. They got to come out here and beat one of the premier teams in Central Ohio this year. And this is a big statement game for not only Coach Frankie, but for Nate Miller. He can come out and show off to basically a place where his uncle is going to send his kid one day, the legendary Braxton Miller, showing off in that context. This is a big game for Nate Miller, but I think it's a bigger game for Coach Frankie as well.
Kicking off for Dublin Jerome will be 83, Luca Licata. And back deep for Westerville Central, Nico Bogatich. And Jerome will kick left to right as we see it. And on Teacher Appreciation Night, week 4 of the high school football season is underway. And this kickoff is going to go out of bounds, and that'll draw the first penalty marker of the game in this one. And Westerville Central will have some better starting field position in their first drive. Christian Hahn was on that far side to receive for Westerville Central, but it was out of bounds, so he didn't get a chance to do so. And that'll mark the ball at the 35-yard line for Westerville Central to start things off. 1st and 10 for the Warhawks. Ball will be spotted out wide to the right on that far hash mark. Westerville Central working right to left. One receiver out wide to the right, that's Omar Mangora. Now he comes in motion across the formation to the near side. They'll hand it off Kevin King Foku, and he'll get a run, and he's brought down on the play by D'Angelo Nardone of Dublin Jerome. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for Westerville Central. So no gain, no loss. Right back to the line of scrimmage First run for Kevin King Foku goes for 0. Warhawks will go with Nate Miller under center. 2 backs in the backfield. Omar Bangura wide open to the near side left at the numbers. They'll hand it off to Kevin King Foku up the middle. He's going to get a yard or 2. Gang tackled by several Celtics.
Tackled by number 11,
Nardone was on the tackle, as well as Aiden Kors for Dublin Jerome. It's going to bring up 3rd down after a gain of 2. 3rd and 8. So you have to open up the playbook here a little bit, Wes, as you're looking at 3rd and long. You're probably going to expect a pass here. Cam Hebner is going to go out wide to the right with Omar Bangura inside of him. Miller goes into the shotgun with 2 backs in the backfield with him.
Timeout already.
And we're going to get a timeout by Westerville Central. Coach Frankie didn't like that. And Wes, did you see anything? The play clock was running down, it looked like.
Yeah, I think it was more or less on this sideline. Coach Frankie set it in some sort of a motion in a play, and they didn't run it the right way. He immediately walked over to the official and got a timeout. So something along this play clock, not play clock, but this formation has not been working. This is now 3 straight weeks that Westerville Central has burnt a timeout within the first 2.5, 3 minutes of action. So got to figure out these early timeouts.
I would agree. That's a good point. When you add all that up, burning one early on is not great if you're trying to get some kind of momentum going, and not everyone's clicking early on in the game. 10:45 first quarter, opening drive. Westerville Central with the ball. 3rd down and 8 at their own 37-yard line. They'll go with a couple of receivers to the near side left of the formation. Miller out of the gun. Everyone rolling to this near side left. Miller wants to throw, fires, and it's caught at the 50-yard line by Omar Bangura into Celtic territory at the 49-yard line. It was tipped up into the air by, I believe, number 11, D'Angelo Nardone. And luckily, Omar Bangura with the skill there, Wes, to corral that football in.
Yeah, that was an impressive catch on this sideline. You kind of saw it in slow motion. It was a cool play.
1st and 10, Westerville Central at the Jerome 49-yard line. Omar Bangura will come out to the near side left. 1 man inside of him and Kevin Blas. Left of the formation, Miller into the shotgun. Now Bangura in motion. They toss it to him. He works on the right edge to the 47, and he's going to be stopped there after a gain of 1. They'll mark him back to the 48-yard line. 2nd down and 9 coming up for Westerville Central inside Jerome territory. And again, that goes back to the conversation we had with Coach Frankie about getting these playmakers in the rotation. How do you get more touches from your playmakers? And right now they tried to get Omar Bangura on that one, Wes.
Yeah, and it looks like they're also trying to kind of play behind the sticks a little bit. They're trying to get all these passing and shovel passes done behind the line. I think there's got to be something that's in the flats, kind of open up the middle of the field here.
3 receivers to the near side left. Bangura in a quick motion. Miller, play action to Hebner to the 40-yard line, and it's cut. And he's going to be short of the yard to gain, I believe. No, do they give him the 39? They do. It's going to be a 1st down, Westerville Central. Cam Hebner has been clutch in some of those big possessions and big catches. It's 1st down for Westerville Central at the Jerome 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Working right to left as we see it, trying to score into the north end zone. 9:38 first quarter, opening possession. Miller under center, 3 backs in the backfield. Kevin King Foku works left edge. And down to the 36-yard line on the left side goes Kevin King Foku, and that'll bring up 2nd down for Westerville Central at the Jerome 36-yard line. And I do like the mix of plays here, Wes. It seems like it's working.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to open the game up a little bit with Omar Bangura and Cam Hebner, but also sticking to their roots, keeping that ball in Kevin King Foku's hands in early downs.
Miller will go out of the gun. Kevin King Foku onto his right side hip. Blas right of the formation with Omar Bangura. Hebner to the near side left. Miller the snap, rolling out to his right. Under pressure. Looks, steps up, runs, eludes 1 tackle, and then gives himself up at around the 33-yard line. And I thought that was a good decision by the freshman quarterback, Nate Miller there, Wes.
Yeah, he needs to take off a little more, I think. And we've seen that in recent games, especially last week against Bell Fountain. He did take off a few times. I want to say 2 or 3 times in these kind of pass protection schemes, and it paid off for the Warhawks big time. So hopefully he can do it again this week.
8th play of the drive, 3rd down and 3 for Westerville Central at the Jerome 33-yard line. Miller will go out of the gun. Couple backs in the backfield. This is Kevin King Foku, the carry, and he's met right there at the line. Chase Ungernaut will bring him up, and that'll bring up 4th down now for Westerville Central. Gain of a couple on the play. It's to the 32-yard line. Gain of 1, I'll be more specific, but it's 4th and 2 now for Westerville Central.
That'll bring up 4th down and 3.
Well, it's a long 2, actually. Where they marked that, Wes, they gave him some yardage, but now it's more accurate to a 4th and 3. And it looks like it's go time here. Nate Miller in the huddle. And he's going to break that huddle. Play clock is down to 5. He goes under center. 3 backs in the backfield. They'll hand it off. Confusion in the backfield. Omar Bangora to the near side, 30, 25, and wrapped up and taken down at the 23-yard line. Out of bounds goes Omar Bangora and tackled on the play by Elijah Bonsu of Jerome. What a play. That was a great run down there, Wes.
Yeah, that's that perfect mixed direction. They like to send Kevin Kingfolk out to the right, kind of drag the entire line with him. They send that fullback as well that way. I can't get a number on who the fullback is for Central, but they send that fullback to the right as well, misdirection, bring Bagura back left.
Miller under center, 3 backs in the backfield, 1st and 10 at the Jerome 24-yard line. They hand it off up the middle, and barreling his way to the 21-yard line goes number 41, J.J. Ruark. Ruark, excuse me. We don't get to say his name much.
He's an absolute wrecking ball down in that run game.
I agree, Wes. It's going to be 2nd down and 6 now for Westerville Central at the Jerome 20-yard line. 6:47 to play opening quarter. Westerville Central will put Omar Bangora wide to the right. Hebner to the near side left with Cohen Buss. They'll hand it off to Kevin King Foku, and tries to break a tackle, and he gets inside the 20, down to about the 17-yard line, it looks like, maybe 16. It'll bring up 3rd down, though, for Westerville Central. This will be the 12th play of the drive coming up, and the last couple handoffs by Nate Miller, maybe a little confusion about where he's supposed to go with it, but they are still getting positive yards out of those runs. 3rd down, and a very long 3, according to the scoreboard. It looks more like 3rd and 4, the way it's set up. Johnson is in the shotgun, and then Westerville Central is going to have to burn another timeout because personnel-wise, Kevin Blas was on the field, and that's just another timeout burned by Westerville Central in this opening quarter, Wes.
Yeah, that's not going to be Coach Frankie's happiness right there. A tough play call to get Blas off the field. He came sprinting off. It almost looked like he was in motion, and he just never stopped running. So that was like a funny play call there.
2 timeouts used by Westerville Central in the first quarter alone. And we're halfway through the first quarter.
Run game looks good, though.
The run game does look good. And with 5:51 to play in the opening quarter, Westerville Central has burned those 2 timeouts. Still the opening possession of the game. They've used half the first quarter clock, more than that now. Kajai Johnson out of the shotgun in this Wildcat formation, and it goes right to Kevin King Foku on the snap.
He's got it.
And he's going to have enough for the 1st down. That 3rd down play, direct snap to Kevin King Foku. That'll be a 1st down for the Warhawks at the Jerome 12-yard line. Great play there, Wes.
Yeah, that was a nice play call. I like the misdirection. Kajai Johnson obviously taking a few handoffs recently, kind of that Wildcat formation. This time, direct snap to Kevin King Foku. Turns out with a big play.
1st and 10, Westerville Central at the Jerome 12-yard line with 5:25 opening quarter to play. Miller looks at his play sheet and puts Cam Hebner out wide to the right. Play clock is down to 4. The snap to Miller. Hand off to Kevin King Foku. Finds a gap on the right edge and gets down to the 8-yard line. And that will bring up 2nd down for Westerville Central. And the Jerome Celtics defense trying to find an answer right now as Westerville Central really mixing things up. 2nd down and 6 for the Westerville Central Warhawks. Under 5 to play in the opening quarter. This is the opening possession for Westerville Central of the game. Ball Ball is between the hashes at the 8-yard line. Hebner and Bangura go out wide to the right. The snap, the handoff to Kevin King-Foku. He's going to be dropped in the backfield for a loss. Parker Middleton was on that penetration in the backfield, and Kevin King-Foku is going to lose some yards back to the 10-yard line. It'll bring up third down. That time, Jerome West read that play.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing I've noticed so far is every single play the Warhawks have continued to run this ball, the safeties continue to drop down lower and lower and lower into the box. It's going to test Nate Miller. He's going to have to go over the top eventually, and it's just a waiting game right now with Coach Frankie. How much longer can he take Kevin King-Foku with those 2-3-yard rushes before he has to pop one over the top?
Third down and 8, Westerville Central at the Jerome 10-yard line. 4 minutes to play, opening quarter. Kevin King-Foku to the left hip of Miller out of the gun. High snap. Miller rolling out and under pressure. Caught! And it's into the end zone. Cohen Bus for the touchdown. Westerville Central.
Nate Miller's pass complete to number 88. Cohen Bus, 4-6.
That will be Nate Miller's first passing touchdown of the season. And he did it on a rollout under pressure and found his tight end, Cohen Bus. That was one heck of a play there by Westerville Central, and they get on the board first. And now Cohen Bus for the point after. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and it is good. Westerville Central will lead in the opening quarter 7-0 over Dublin Jerome. And the Warhawks really had a great offensive drive there. They went 65 yards and took quite a bit of time off that clock, Wes, and that was a great opening drive for the Warhawks.
Yeah, and I mentioned to you right there, Brent, literally the play before, they're going to keep dropping those safeties down in the run game. They're going to have it over and over and over again. They're going to dare Westerville Central to run the ball. And Coach Frankie's going to stick to his game plan. He keeps running the ball. Eventually those safeties can't wait any longer. They try and jump the play, and Cohen Bus wide open for the touchdown.
Rylan Moran to put it in the air. Back deep for the Celtics.
8 minutes and 8 seconds off of the scoreboard. Kickoff by Westerville Central the other way, and Dublin Jerome will return it from the 1-yard line and get out to their own 24-yard line. And on the return was Matthew Giantonio, and that's where Dublin Jerome will start this drive. And they've been waiting on the sidelines patiently, their offense. And they will start at the 3:45 mark to play at their own 24-yard line in this first quarter of action. Westerville Central 15 plays, 65 yards, 8:08 off the clock in that first possession. And so now we'll get to see Dublin Jerome. Nolan Peoples in at quarterback for the Celtics. Movement on the line, penalty markers fly before the snap, and this should be against they're going to say it's against Westerville Central encroachment.
Encroachment. Call on the Hawks. It'll be first down and 5.
So they'll try it again. 1st and 5 now for Dublin Jerome at their own 29-yard line. They're going to bring a receiver out wide to the near side right. Kekriski. And then a receiver out wide to the left for Peoples out of the gun. They'll hand it off on first down. They'll run up the middle. And right there, Westerville Central there to stop that. Joey Slates was on the run. And Greg Woods was on the stop for the Warhawks of Westerville Central. He was flying around last week, and he's not stopped tonight. He's right back where he left off.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5.
2nd down and 5. No gain on the play. From their own 29-yard line, Dublin Jerome. Nolan Peoples, the senior quarterback, at 5'10", will go into the shotgun. 4 receivers set, split on either side from the near hash, working left to right. They'll hand it, they'll play action over the middle, and it's incomplete. They were looking for Chakurski on that route across the middle, and it falls incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down now for Dublin Jerome. And can the Warhawk defense get a stop? They go 4 wide again. Jerome with 3:02 to play in the first quarter, and they trail 7-0 to Westerville Central.
It'll be 3rd and 5.
4 receivers set, split either side. Ball near hash mark at their own 29-yard line, Dublin Jerome. Peoples out of the gun, play clock at 4. The snap, the handoff. No, he wants to throw, fires over the middle, caught, and that'll be enough for a first down into the hands of Jack Kursky.
Tackled by number 27,
Devon Lipsy on the stop, and it goes up to the 41-yard line for a first down, Dublin Jerome. Peoples out of the gun, trying to have that hard count, but nothing going. 4 receivers set, ball near hash mark at their own 41, Dublin Jerome. In the backfield, Joey Slates. Play clock is down to 12. Peoples relays the new play from the sideline to his offensive line. Man in motion right to left. They'll hand it off to Slates up the middle, and he's not going to get anything but maybe a loss of a yard on the play. It looked like that was Devon Lipsy on the stop for Westerville Central. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for Dublin Jerome. And Wes, this would be big if Westerville Central's defense can find a way to get a stop here.
Yeah, obviously it's a massive factor getting off the field and put your offense back on the field. This high-flying, high-scoring Jerome offense has to be left at bay for the Warhawks.
4 receivers set, 3 wide to the left. Peoples throws, caught at the 45, dives toward the 48, and it's into the hands of Matthew Giantonio. Lipsy was there along with Greg Woods. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 at their own 48-yard line for Dublin Jerome. Big 3rd down here for the Warhawk defense. They need a stop. Peoples out of the gun. The play clock is at 15. Lipsy's ready to get into the backfield. Greg Woods on that left side. Maurice Crozier on that right side of the line for Westerville Central. The D-end who was on the Frankie Coach's show last night. Peoples keeps it himself. No. In the backfield, the Warhawks go. And a big stop for Maurice Crozier and Greg Woods there as well. Lipsy in on the coverage too, and that'll bring up 4th down for Dublin Jerome. And at their own 46-yard line, they're going to have to punt this one away on 4th and 5.
And 5 from the 46-yard line.
Wes, I had you potted down. Say that again. That's important.
I said I think this has arguably been the best quarter of Warhawk football I've seen all season.
I agree. This has been a great quarter. And Dublin Jerome will have to punt it away. They send it away. Cam Hebner calls for the fair catch. He backtracks to his own 10-yard line, and the clock will stop at 25 seconds to play. So Westerville Central will get the football back, and they'll have 25 seconds to work with in the first quarter. And they will work at their own 10-yard line. 1st and 10 for Westerville Central. Nate Miller will go out of the gun. Omar Bangura near side left at the numbers. Cam Hebner inside of him. Ball far hash mark. Kevin King Foku onto his right side hip. Cohen Bus in motion. Right side of the line to the left. Kevin King Foku gets the handoff, and he just shoves his way across the 15 to the 16-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down for Westerville Central and most likely take us to the second quarter as the Warhawks are currently leading Dublin Jerome 7-0, and that is going to take us to the end of the first quarter. Warhawks lead Celtics 7-0 after 1 on Central Ohio Sports Network.
Buckeye football great and NFL Super Bowl champion Jim Lachey on sportsmanship.
Winning and losing can teach kids many lessons, but high school sports are truly about respecting your opponent, representing your school, and building the foundation for a lifetime of success. High school sports create memories that last a lifetime. And member schools of the OHSAA are committed to following a high set of standards. Whether it's on the field or in the stands, we can all do our part to respect the game.
This message brought to you by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Ohio needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
This is the home of the Westerville Central Warhawks, Central Ohio Sports Network.
Start of the second quarter, Westerville Central leads Dublin Jerome 7-0. And Warhawks with their second possession of the game. They used 8 minutes and 8 seconds in their opening drive. Didn't leave Jerome much, and the defense held. And on second down, Miller throws, and it's incomplete. No one was in the vicinity. Omar Bangura, Cam Hebner were probably the intended targets, but it falls incomplete. It's going to bring up third down for Westerville Central. But I tell you what, Wes, that first quarter was brilliantly executed by Westerville Central.
That's exactly what you need to see when you're Warhawk football. Obviously, you need to drag out those first kind of drives, those longer drives where you can run the ball, kind of push it down their throat, make them stop the run. When they stop the run, you kind of pull that out, give a little Nate Miller action, see what you can do.
On third down and 3, Westerville Central. And it's a direct snap to Kevin King-Foku. He works on the right side edge, finds a couple blocks to the 27-yard line for a first down. Great job by Kevin King-Foku there. And the Warhawks with another first down in this first half. Yeah, I'm liking the direct snaps right now. It really throws it off. You don't know if it's going to be Kajai Johnson or Kevin King-Foku, but now Nate Miller is back out there in the gun. Play clock is at 10. First and 10, Westerville Central at their own 27. Throws Omar Bangura right off his fingertips, but I like the opportunity there to get Omar Bangura the ball in space. Looked like it was just a little too far out of his reach, Wes.
Yeah, those quick out routes are what's playing a huge factor for the Warhawks. Kind of get the ball in space, give them a little action out wide. Omar Bangura, Cam Hebner, look for those guys to play a big factor when those routes come.
So they'll bring up second and 10 for Westerville Central at their own 27-yard line. 11:19 to play, second quarter. Cam Hebner and Omar Bangura come near side right at the numbers. Ball near hash mark. Bangura in motion. They hand it off Kevin King-Foku, and he's going to be stopped at around the 29-yard line by a couple of Celtics on that play. Parker Middleton was on the stop for the Celtics. Clock will run. It's going to be third down. So third down and 8, and probably obvious passing third down. Wes, at least that's what I would think.
Has to be here, and I'm thinking there's going to be about 3 guys who I think have a chance of getting the ball. Got to be Kevin Blas, Cam Hebner, or Omar Bangura.
And Cam Hebner is going to come near side right with Omar Bangura inside of him. Kevin Blas is there, Kajai Johnson, and they're all working to the near side. Miller fires deep down the field, and Cam Hebner can't corral it, and he had to dive for it at the Jerome 32-yard line, and he just couldn't keep it in his hands. I like the play call, though, Wes.
Yeah, that's a good play. Give Nate Miller some space, allow him to kind of use that arm. He's obviously shown over the past few weeks he does have a big arm. He just needs to get open in space, kind of widen that thing up. It's a good play there. Cam Hebner got to pull that in.
Westerville Central will be forced to punt this one away. 4th and 8 at their own 29-yard line. Cohen Bus sends it away. And it's going to take a Westerville Central bounce all the way back to the 15. It's going to be picked up by Ty Hogg. And he brings it out to the 25. And he gets at least 12 yards on that return. 10-12 to play in this second quarter. And Westerville Central's defense will go right back out onto the field. Second possession now for Dublin Jerome. And if you are Dublin Jerome, Wes, you're probably a little bit surprised at how well that defense of Westerville Central played.
Yeah, I think they've come out swinging, and I think the biggest factor so far has been Greg Woods. He's been off that edge. He's played a massive factor in that run game, really setting the edge for his other defensive guys, letting them get inside of him. Those linebackers have stepped up a big way, too. The linebackers have stopped the run game and forced the pass for Dublin Jerome.
First and 10, Dublin Jerome. Peoples out of the shotgun. 3 receivers set. And 2 to the near side left. They'll hand it off up the middle. Slates for a few. Penalty marker comes in after the play. There was a helmet that came in. And it was a gain of 6 to the 35-yard line. Greg Woods was in on the tackle for Westerville Central, but we'll see what this call is going to be. And it is going to go against Dublin Jerome. The offense has been backing up while Westerville Central is still just standing there talking. There's a dead ball, personal foul against Dublin Jerome. And then it'll be second down now for Dublin Jerome. Well, that helps the defense out a little bit there, Wes.
Yeah, it does. I think that's a massive factor. Let's Greg Woods and these other pass rushers kind of take a chance and just go after the quarterback.
Greg Woods, Maurice Crozier is on the left side of the line. Greg Woods on the right side. Those 2 defensive ends have played big factors in the last couple weeks. And again, they're getting pressure in the backfield again. Jerome will break the huddle. Play clock is at 10. Peoples out of the gun. 3 receivers near side left, 1 out wide to the right, far side. Peoples wasn't ready for that snap. Got it. Greg Woods is there, and he's going to be brought down as he falls forward. Greg Woods, Maurice Crozier, that entire defensive line was in the backfield, putting pressure on Peoples, and it was a great defensive stance by the Warhawk defense.
Good.
That's right, Noah Mitchell once again in there as well for Westerville Central. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long at the Jerome 19-yard line. So 3rd and 20 for the Celtics. 4 wide, 3 near side left. Ball far hash mark. Peoples out of the gun. Slates to his left. Rolling to his left is Peoples. Wanting to throw. Fires near side, and it's caught at the 30-yard line. And diving forward is Lucas Franks. And it was almost deflected by the defense. That was Devin Smith, who almost got a hand in there for Westerville Central, but just couldn't pull it out of the hands of the senior wide receiver, Lucas Franks. But it is going to be a 4th down situation and 8 for Dublin Jerome. And once again, this Warhawk defense holds strong, Wes.
I think he did get a hand in there. Devin Smith made a big impact on that catch, but obviously he wrapped him up as well, let his counterparts kind of get there, and that's been a big factor so far for the Warhawks, keeping the offense limited, especially on 3rd down long.
Luka Lakita puts it into the air. Cam Hebner calls for the fair catch, stumbles backwards, and drops on it back at his own 26-yard line. And that's a couple now for Cam Hebner that he has misjudged and had to run backwards. And that time he tripped and fell as he was bringing that ball in. He's probably a little frustrated with himself, Wes, that he couldn't make that last catch in the last drive.
I think that ball flight as well and the punts are a little higher than he's been used to. He's kind of gotten more direct punts rather than these high arcing ones.
So Westerville Central will take over at their own 26-yard line after that punt. And it'll be Nate Miller out of the shotgun, 8:16 in this second quarter to play. 7-0 Westerville Central. Miller will hand it off to Kevin King Foku, and near side will be dropped at around the 29-yard line. And that on the stop is Ty Hack for Dublin Jerome. Makes it to the 28-yard line. 2nd down, Westerville Central. Gain of a couple. 2nd down and 8. Cam Hebner is going to be subbed out. Cohen Buss, Kajai Johnson go out there. Omar Bangora as well. Ball near hash mark. Westerville Central working left to right as we see it. 7:45 count and counting to go in this second quarter. Loaded on the left side of the line is Westerville Central. 2nd down and 8. And a reverse to Omar Bangora. Breaks a tackle to the 30-35. And finally slung down at the 44-yard line. They'll mark him back to the 43. Omar Bangora with a big burst and a 1st down. That's what you like to see out of your playmakers, Wes.
Yeah, we mentioned it pregame with Coach as well. He has to get those guys involved. Omar Bangura, Kevin King Foku have to be involved in this game plan, and they've had a huge factor so far for the Warhawks.
1st and 10, Westerville Central at their own 43-yard line. 7:20 to play in this first half of action. And Westerville Central leads Dublin Jerome 7-0. Nate Miller will work out of the gun. Bangura comes to the near side right, ball near hash mark. Kevin King-Foku in the backfield. Miller wants to keep it himself, tries to follow a block, and then he's stopped right there at the 44-yard line. Gain of 1 for the quarterback. That'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for Westerville Central. And it kind of looked like Nate Miller wanted to run, but then maybe last-minute throw, but he ran into his offensive lineman and couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that run hole kind of swapped up pretty quickly.
6:43 and counting to play in the second quarter. 2nd down and 9, Westerville Central at their own 44-yard line, working left to right as we see it. Cam Hebner will come to the near side right, along with Cohen Buss. Omar Bangura goes out wide to the left. Now Miller brings him in. They'll hand it off. Kevin King-Foku finds a blocker to the 45 and then tripped up to the 46-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down for Westerville Central. And like they did on their opening possession, Wes, they have to be methodical here and trying to keep these long drives alive.
Yeah, you got to keep chipping away. I don't think they're going to get these big pop plays that they kind of saw last week against Bell Fountain. It's going to be the chips, the 3-4 plays every single play, all the way down the field. Hopefully trying to take off a lot of time as well. Maybe end this half with the ball in your hands.
Under 6 minutes to play in the second quarter. Checking into the game for Westerville Central is Devin Smith, the wide receiver at 6'2", 175. Hebner's going to come to the near side. They have to move quickly. Play clock is at 3. Miller out of the gun, all alone in the backfield, dropping back. Pressure comes. Miller fires deep down the near sideline, looking for Cam Hebner. He caught it at the 23-yard line, and he's fighting, and you can see that he's being punched as he's going down by the defense of Dublin Jerome. But somehow Cam Hebner corrals that in, and Westerville Central moves the chains into Jerome territory.
Brent, I'm telling you.
Cam Hebner. You're right, Wes. It's getting big. And with 5:27 to play in this second quarter, was it Dublin Jerome that called the timeout, or did the officials call timeout, Wes?
It looked like it was Dublin Jerome, but
okay.
I can't really confirm.
1 timeout remains for Westerville Central. Right now the scoreboard says all 3. The PA announcer, Phil West, said that it was a official's timeout.
Oh, yeah, it has to be official timeout. They're not ready yet.
And one of the officials is talking to this near sideline to the Westerville Central coaches, and I'm not sure about what. Well, Wes, this is one of those moments in high school football where I wish the referee had a microphone to tell us everything.
Yeah, I wish Coach Frankie was mic'd up as well, but hey, good luck.
Oh, I see the problem. I see over on the far side hashes at the 27-yard line. It looks like someone may have brought back up their pregame meal.
The official's timeout
So
for matter on the field.
let's step aside. Let's take a break while that gets cleaned up on that far side. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more X's and O's as Westerville Central, 5:27 in the second quarter, leads Dublin Jerome 7-0 on Central Ohio Sports Network.
The phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait. Attention on the road, that's the only way. Phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Ohio at highschoolofficials.com.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is the home of the Westerville Central Warhawks, Central Ohio Sports Network.
Well, back here at Warhawk Field with 5:27 to play in the second quarter, still waiting for someone to come out onto the field and clean up the aftermath of someone's dinner. There's actually two locations that we found. There's the one on the far hashes in Dublin Jerome territory to our right at the 26-27-yard line. There's also one back to the left side of midfield at the 48-yard line. So someone lost their meal twice, and it actually looks like, Wes, we won't have to do too much filling as the officials are they allowing play to go on with some dinner still out on the field, or are they going to have to tell the teams go back to your huddle?
They're going to tell them to go back, but
Yeah.
This is Ohio high school football. Come on, let's play through it.
Well,
we play through the snow. We play through the rain. Come on, let's play through something else.
Wes, let's talk about that last play and catch by Cam Hebner. We had just said, man, he looks like he's struggling. It looks like he was frustrated with that dropped pass. He was backpedaling on some of these punts, and then all of a sudden he gets this big catch.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to the point of just like Nate Miller, right? He has to get some confidence. He's a guy who hasn't really played a ton of varsity. He played last year, led the team in receptions, but on a team that didn't really pass the ball that much. It was more of a rushing team, didn't really score that much either. So he's kind of getting an elevated factor this year in this team's game plan. Him and Omar Baker are the 1-2 combo out wide. And I tell you what, I've noticed a lot so far in this game, and I think last game he played a really under-the-radar, kind of on the box score team kind of game. Tonight he's shown up in a big factor. He's obviously returning punts this time now full-time by himself. And I'll tell you what, he looked really good on that pass play. He kind of found the route, kind of boxed out his corner, and then held onto the ball through a bunch of heavy punches and heavy rights and lefts, and, hey, made the play.
Yeah, he was getting punched pretty hard. And, hey, let's give a shout-out to the Dublin Jerome training staff. Cleaning one area, Coach Max Shaver of the boys basketball team here at Westerville Central helping to clean. He's got a big bucket to clean everything up. A lot of people coming out, athletic director Andy I to clean up the mess.
Hey, that's a great coach right there.
Coach Max Shaver, yeah, great job. And all the support staff for Westerville Central here tonight getting out there to clean. The training staff for Dublin Jerome getting out there to clean as well.
They're flooding this turf.
They are. It is two big water ponds now where the dinner had ended up.
Every day of the week, except Sunday, of course.
Someone's going to go down in that and just get soaked.
That is not going to be fun. But it looks like they got everything cleaned up. It actually looks like the team doctor came out as well for Westerville Central to make sure that maybe it was properly cleaned up. But either way, Wes, I think we're going to be able to get back to some football now.
Showtime. Here we go.
So 1st and 10 for Westerville Central. And they're standing at the Jerome 22-yard line off to our right. Nate Miller will work out of the gun. One back in the backfield. Rylan Moran is back there now. 3 receivers set to the far side left. Ball near hash mark. Westerville Central. Moran will split out wide to the right now. Omar Bangora motions into the backfield. Miller out of the gun, takes the snap, drops back, wants to throw over the middle, and it's caught right in the hands of Kevin Blas, and he stumbles to the 15-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down for Westerville Central.
Pick up a 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 3 from the 15-yard line.
Under 5 to play in the second quarter, and it's 7-0 Westerville Central as the Warhawks look at 2nd down and 3 at the Jerome 15-yard line. Play clock is down to 15 for the freshman quarterback, Nate Miller. And he's going to go under center, 3 backs in the backfield. The tight ends on either side of the line. Some movement. Miller takes the snap. They hand it off, and right into the backfield comes Kawal Bosley. And Rylan Moran couldn't go anywhere on that carry, Wes.
Hey, he had him there in his first step.
So it'll be 3rd down now for Westerville Central at the Jerome 19-yard line. Ball will be spotted to the near hash mark at the Jerome 19. Cam Hebner goes out wide to the left. Inside of him will be Devin Smith and Omar Bangura. Miller all alone in the backfield. The play clock is down to 3. The high snap, Miller. Pressure coming. Firing back to the far end zone. Looking for Cam Hebner. Penalty markers fly. They're out of bounds. Hebner caught the ball as he was out of bounds. Or is that Devin Smith? That was Devin Smith, I think. No, it was Cam Hebner. I'm sorry. I had it right the first time. But we'll check the penalty. And if it is pass interference, then it's going to be an automatic first down for Westerville Central, yes? Coach Frankie wanted that touchdown call. He wasn't getting it, and Coach Schaefer had to be the get-back coach and get everyone back and get Coach Frankie off the field. And so with that, it'll be an automatic first down for Westerville Central inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Warhawks of Westerville Central. 3:45 in the second quarter to play, and that's a big call, Wes.
Yeah, it's a massive factor again. Cam Hebner drawing that defense back wide again along that goalpost.
Miller will go under center. 2 backs in the backfield. Bangura out wide to the left. Now motions into the backfield. They toss it back to him, working the right side edge to the 10. And he jumps in. He gets back to the 9-yard line. Picks up half a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal now for Westerville Central as that clock winds. About 3:33 to play now until halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime will be our halftime report. But Skip Mossick's Tonight in High School Football will kick us off first. That's all coming up at halftime here on Central Ohio Sports Network. Second and goal, Westerville Central at the 9. Miller into the gun with Rylan Moran to his left side hip. Bangura on the right side of the line, Hebner to the left. Miller wants to throw, under pressure, gets away from it, has a little bit of time, fires far side, and it's out of bounds.
Nate Miller's pass incomplete.
That was so far out of bounds, he hit the Jerome marching band warming up on the other side of the fence.
Hey, that's a get back, if I can tell you what.
That'll bring up 3rd and goal.
It'll be 3rd and goal now at the 9-yard line with 2:48 to play in the first half of action. And Wes, when you're at 3rd and goal at the 9, what do you imagine this play call is going to be?
You're going to see a lot of eye candy. You're going to try and get a lot of motions. Omar Bangura is going to be one of them. Rylan Moran probably another one. Going to try and get this defense out of position, maybe something over the middle.
So Miller will work out of the gun. 3 receivers to the far side left. Blah's in motion now to that far side. Miller throws into the flat, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Rylan Moran, but then a penalty marker comes in afterwards, and looked like Nate Miller got pushed, and it's going to be a personal foul, roughing the passer. And that'll be on Dublin Jerome, and that'll be an automatic first down, I believe, for Westerville Central. Did Nate Miller put on his best acting uniform on that one?
He certainly did.
It looked like he did, yeah. So the ball will be spotted inside the 5-yard line, close to the 4. It'll be 1st and goal at the 4 is what they're going to call it. Miller under center, 3 backs in the backfield. Lots of movement on the line before the ball is snapped. Penalty markers fly from every direction. This will be most likely a false start against Westerville Central. But the officials are going to come. The line judges are going to talk about this one. And it is going to be a false start against Westerville Central, and that's what they call.
False start called on the
So they'll try it again.
It'll be first and goal from the 9-yard line.
So they'll go back to that 9-yard line. First and goal, Westerville Central. 2:45 in this second quarter to play. Westerville Central leads Jerome 7-0. Miller under center, 3 backs in the backfield, play clock at 14. Miller the snap, handoff, Omar Bangura cuts into the middle to the 5, trying to fight his way, and he gets to the 1-yard line. Once again, the playmakers in action, Wes.
I'm telling you right now, Omar Bangura has to have the ball in his hands. This is a potential spot right now where Kevin Kinkfoku is going to thrive.
It'll be second and goal at the 1 for Westerville Central, as they lead Dublin Jerome 1-0. Miller will go back under center. They get the snap off. They toss it back. Diving toward the end zone. Touchdown, Rylan Moran gets into the end zone for Westerville Central. There is a penalty marker, though, on the far sideline. And Wes, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like Jerome had too many men on the field.
I believe so. 12 men, it looks like, on that sideline.
The play should count. The referee coming over to talk to Coach Frankie. And I think they're going to allow that one to go.
Stands as called.
Yep.
You believe in miracles, Brent.
It's actually going to be enforced on the kickoff, I believe. The point after for Westerville Central, Cohen Bus.
The extra point. Touchdown was scored by Rylan Moran.
So Bus with the point after. Right now 13-0 Westerville Central, 2:04. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and it is good.
That makes your score, Westerville Central 14, Dublin Jerome 0.
14-0. Westerville Central leads Dublin Jerome with 2:04 to play. And another great drive by Westerville Central.
Took 6 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock. Capped off by Rylan Moran, 1-yard run for a touchdown.
That drive, 13 plays, 6 minutes, 12 seconds off the clock. Started at their own 26, Westerville Central. And now Dublin Jerome will have another opportunity here. They have 3 timeouts, 2:04 on the clock right now.
And number 80, Matthew Giantonio.
Rylan Moran will get ready to kick this off for Westerville Central. But now there's an official that says, hang on, you can't have this because we have to enforce the penalty from the too many men on the field during the touchdown play that you scored on, Rylan Moran, so you get to kick the ball from the 45.
Because of the Celtic penalty.
Matthew Giantonio back deep, along with his teammate Lucas Franks. Rylan Moran from his own 45 sends it away. This one will go into the end zone for a touchback.
Kick sails through the end zone.
2:04
Come out to the 20.
that Dublin Jerome will have to work with, and 3 timeouts for the Celtics. Westerville Central with 1.
It'll be Jerome's ball, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
So Peoples will trot out there for Jerome, and he will relay the play to his huddle. And they'll break that huddle. 1st and 10, Jerome at their own 20, 2:04 second quarter, trailing by 2 scores. And 3 timeouts in his pocket to work with for him and Coach Crabtree. Peoples takes the snap, throws over the middle, and it's intercepted at the 40-yard line by Omar Bangura. Intercepted by Omar Bangura at the 40. Amazing job by Omar Bangura to be at the right spot at the right time. Great play by Omar Bangura. How about that, Wes?
That is an incredible play by Omar Bangura. Sliding to his left, makes the play with the catch in his right side. Unbelievable athletic play by Omar Bangura.
So Westerville Central will have 1:58 on the clock to work with, and they will start at the Dublin Jerome 41-yard line. 1st and 10, Westerville Central. Nate Miller will come out into the shotgun, and he's got 3 receivers onto his right side. No one in the backfield with him. Pressure coming. Fires near sideline, incomplete.
Nate Miller's pass, incomplete.
Intended for Devin Smith on this near side. And I don't know, Wes, is this one of those moments where you're content to try to drain some clock and get into the locker room, or do you try to take a shot here?
I was just going to say the same thing. I think it's one of those second down plays here where Coach Frankie's going to take a big shot play, and then I think if he doesn't get it, just run the ball a couple times, run this clock out.
2nd down, 10 coming up, Westerville Central. 1:54 until halftime to play. 14-0, Westerville Central over Dublin Jerome. 3 receivers near side right, ball between the hashes at the 41-yard line of Jerome. Miller takes the snap, quick throw, near side, Bangora, 40, and tiptoes out of bounds right around the 37-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down for Westerville Central. Situation is 3rd and 6 at the Jerome 37-yard line. Hard to say what to call here, Wes, but it's an interesting spot.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of eye candy again from Coach Frankie. He's going to try and get some guys in motion, take this defense out of whack.
Well, now we're going to have a whistle here.
Officials timeout.
And the officials are going to call timeout. They need to discuss something. And I think everything's fine at that point. So we'll try it again. 3rd down and 6, Westerville Central at the Jerome 37. 4 receivers bunched far side left. Bangora now comes in motion left to right. 2 receivers to the near side right. Empty backfield. Here's Cam Hebner at the 35, and he gets to the 30 for a 1st down, Westerville Central. Cam Hebner has found his spark in this 2nd quarter, and that's what you like to see out of that young receiver.
Tackled by number 4, Matthew Esguera.
Cam Hebner, a junior, really showing his experience that he got from last year coming into this season. It's 1st and 10, Westerville Central at the Jerome 29-yard line. 1:24, 2nd quarter to play. Miller all alone in the backfield. Pressure coming once again. Miller keeps it. Stiff arm to the 30, and he's going to be taken down right around that 30-yard line for a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 11 for Westerville Central as the clock winds down, 1:05 and ticking.
Content to halftime.
Yeah, one more big shot, I would agree. And then content, like you said, to get into the locker room. They're not rushing to the line by any means. The play clock is at 12. We're under 45 seconds to play until halftime. Miller out of the gun. Rolling to his right. Lots of options over the middle, and it's caught. Omar Bangora at the 18-yard line.
Coach is going to take a timeout here, I think.
They're going to try and kill it.
Omar Bangura.
I think he's going to try and get them to go spike this ball.
That's good enough for a Warhawk. 1st down.
They're going to get to the line. They're wasting some precious moments here. Miller quickly out of the gun. Clock at 22 seconds to play. It's 1st down, Westerville Central. Miller wants to throw, has some time over the middle. Caught Cam Hebner at the 10-yard line, and he goes down right around the 6, and that'll be a timeout, Westerville Central, with 11 seconds to play until halftime. And that'll be another 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal for Westerville Central on this timeout. And Wes picking up the pace a little bit.
You said it, man, the emergence of Cam Hebner. He's got to play a big factor in this pass game. Omar Bangura has been getting a lot of run lately. It's now time for Cam Hebner to shine a little bit.
Well, what do you think of the threads combination tonight, Wes? The Warhawks going with the white helmets, the silver tops, and the white pants.
I think it looks sharp, honestly. I was questioning last week when we asked, when I asked Coach Frankie after the game what the uniform combo looked like this week. He said gray on white. I wasn't really sure if gray and white would look sharp, but as the night gets a little darker, this white is popping off the field. It looks real nice.
Yeah, it looks really good. The alternate helmet, the white helmet with the word Hawks across either side. Although, I'm old school. I like the black helmet with the silver wings myself. I like the OG on that one. Out of the timeout, it'll be 1st and goal for Westerville Central at the 6-yard line. Ball spotted near hash mark. Bangura all the way out wide to the left at the other hash. Miller out of the gun. One back in the backfield. Now Bangura in motion to the near side of the line. Miller rolls out to his right. Wants to throw. He's going to throw it back of the end zone, and it's caught by Cohen Bus, but he's out of bounds. He was in the back corner, and he's out of bounds. There's 5 seconds to play now, and it's 2nd and goal. That was a great spot, though, Wes.
Yeah, that was a perfect pass by Nate Miller. He is getting comfortable in this offense right now. And I'll tell you right now, if I'm Dublin Jerome and their coaching staff, I want to get off the field and at half right now.
5 seconds to play, 14-0 Westerville Central. And Cohen Bus is going to go for a field goal here. That's going to be from the 14-yard line. So a 24-yard field goal is good. That'll be half. Westerville Central ends it at the Dublin Jerome 5-yard line. They get a 24-yard field goal by Cohen Bus. And we'll wait for Wes to have Coach Frankie, and let's check in with Wes and Coach.
Yeah, Coach Frankie here, big half for your guys, 17-0 the lead. This is the biggest lead you've had all year so far against a 3-0 team. How do you keep the confidence up on offense?
Listen, just got to keep doing what we're doing. Keep depending on what's worked the past 3 weeks for us. What worked for us in the first half. Nate Miller's making plays, man. So I think he's finally calmed down, has gotten comfortable, and we just need to just keep pressing the foot on the gas, managing the time, keeping the ball away from their offense.
Defensively, you guys made a bunch of big plays. Almo Bangura, that big interception at the end of the half. What do you kind of push going forward? Greg Woods making a big play defensively off on the ball. What's kind of message to the defense?
They haven't had many plays offensively, maybe 9 or 10. So they're going to start hitting, as an offense coordinator myself, they're going to start hitting panic button. They got a lot of calls on their script they want to get to. They're going to start trying to reach, and we just got to keep the ball in front of us and just make plays when they come to us. Just, again, gap control, and nobody beats us deep.
Best of luck second half. Back up to you, Brent.
Thanks, Wes. That's Coach Frankie with Wes Minke, and the Warhawks lead 17-0 here at the break against 3-0 Dublin Jerome. Skip Mossick is going to kick us off with our halftime coverage, and we'll be back with our halftime report after that here on Central Ohio Sports Network.
From the Ohio News Network, this is the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football. Named Best Sports Program in the Country by the National Association of State Radio Networks. Tonight in High School Football is presented by Beck's Hybrids and by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Now here's your host, Skip Mossick.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tonight in High School Football's Halftime Report. We have seen some news regarding some high-profile transfers over the years, and this year is no exception. But what are the rules? We'll discuss with Tim Street of the OHSAA next on the Ohio News Network.
Every day, farmers rise before the sun and put everything they have into a job so few can do. Their courage, resilience, and relentless work shape the legacies and future of our country. At Beck's, we're proud to stand alongside those who don't wait to see what the world will do. They act, they lead, they are the difference. Beck's honors your commitment to your land, family, and purpose. And while we can't predict what the future holds, there is one thing we can do to change it, and that's be the difference, right now, in every decision and every season.
Friday night under the lights reminds us teamwork, dedication, and community start in our schools. I'm Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wenson, and on behalf of the OEA's 120,000 members, we are proud to sponsor tonight's game and even prouder to support our public schools. Whether it's touchdowns or textbooks, success starts with a strong foundation. From the classroom to the end zone, we believe in every student's potential because in Ohio, public education matters.
Connect with Central Ohio Sports Network on Twitter and Instagram at COSN Audio, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Central Ohio Sports Network. COSN social media will have score updates, pictures from the game, audio clips, interviews, and more. Follow and like today. Central Ohio Sports Network. Sports coverage by the fans.
This is Tonight in High School Football on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Skip Mossick.
We are presented by Beck's Hybrids at Beck's. They are and will remain farmers at heart. And welcome back, everyone. Halftime of your game. We are joined this evening by Tim Streed, Director of Information Services with the Ohio High School Athletic Association. And Tim, we will occasionally hear stories about high school transfers. There are obviously rules in place to keep an eye on things in regards to the transfer of high school athletes. Can you share with people what rules are in place and I guess what families probably need to be aware of if they're considering a move to another district or another change of school that might impact their high school son or daughter's eligibility?
Sure. Hey, Skip, great to be with you again. Thanks for having me on. And you're right that, transfers are definitely in the news again, especially right now, and it's such a prominent part of college sports now. It's much more prominent at the college level, but certainly there are always a number of transfers at the high school level too. The most common transfer, of course, is family moves from town A to town B. That's the most common one, and almost all of those are approved. But there are, of course, a number that do not get approved, and the ones that don't get approved are when the transfer was for athletic purposes. That is a function of our office, of our eligibility and compliance department, which is a lot smaller than the NCAA, but we do our best, and essentially our schools have voted into place a set of bylaws that govern that. And we have staff that work through that with our member schools. When there is a transfer, there is paperwork that comes into our office, and then we take it from there. But certainly our goal is that students, unless their family needs to move, our goal is that students stay at their high school and compete there. A lot of transferring is, well, it's not good for college athletics either. I guess that's a whole nother conversation, but we don't think it's great for high school sports either.
Well, Tim, I'm sure it's a case-by-case basis, but roughly how many transfers are generally approved with no issue? And I guess are kids able to play at all if there is one?
Yeah, good question. On an average year, there's more than 1,000 transfers. And again, most of those are because the family has moved to a different town. So, in fact, I think last year there were even 1,300 transfers. It seems like a lot. It seems like a big number, but it's really not. I mean, keep in mind that we have 818 high schools. So really 1,300 transfers, that's less than 2 per school. So, it's really not a lot. The transferring paperwork takes a bit of a time, meaning a couple of weeks to work through in our office. We do talk to the schools involved. But if a student does not meet one of the exceptions, that student can still play the first half of the season. In the case of football, the student could play the first 5 games, but then they would have to sit out the rest of the season. And that is actually a lesser penalty than what it had been for a long time. It used to be that a student would sit out the whole season, but now it's just the second half of the season. And, the vast majority of transfers are approved. I think 85% of the transfer applications do get approved. And again, that points back to the common transfer where a family moves to another town. That is the majority. 85% of those get approved. That remaining 15%, that's where we really have to do some digging. Sometimes those are high-profile cases too. I think every year there is either a court case or a lengthy deliberation on some of them. So that definitely does take some time.
And Tim, having gone to a Catholic school, I know the answer to this one, but how much more complicated does it become when kids transfer from a public to a private school?
that does make it more complicated, for sure. And one thing I will say is the other way around is the easy one. If a student starts their high school career at a non-public school, they can always go back to their local public school. That's the easy one. You can always have a one-time transfer out. Going the other way around, a little more complicated.
Tim Streed with the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Tim, we always appreciate your time, okay?
Sounds good, Skip. Thanks for having me on.
And we'll be back on the Ohio News Network.
Bex recognizes this week's player with heart, Christopher Kinsey from Cardington Lincoln High School, for his commitment and passion on the field and within the farming community.
I mean, I've been playing with these kids since I was in 5th grade, so you kind of build like a brotherhood and like the camaraderie that you have, not just about the game, just like kind of life itself, responsibility, knowing where to be. Resilience is a big one too. I feel like I've gained from it.
Lessons in football, lessons in FFA.
The things I learned, and I knew that I wanted to have, like hopefully maybe an ag background in my life. I've showed livestock since I was, very young, and so it was just kind of a given.
And of course, the importance of agriculture.
There's family generation farms that, that's their whole life, and agriculture, I mean, that's the stuff that brings your community around. Yeah, I think it's just the most important thing ever. I mean, people underestimate it.
At Bex, we are and will remain farmers at heart.
This is ONN.
Our thanks again to Tim Streed with the Ohio High School Athletic Association for joining us tonight. Enjoy the second half of your ball game. I'm Skip Mossick on the Ohio News Network.
This has been the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football, presented by Bex Hybrids and by Ohio for Responsible Gambling from the Ohio News Network.
Song again. Here's that song again. For the 100th time today, here's that song again. It's gonna be stuck in your head all day. Here's that song again. It will make you cray cray.
You love your kids enough to watch that TV show a bajillion times. Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat for their age and size. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Pro Football Hall of Famer Paul Warfield. There's just one place where students are students first and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports help young people become confident leaders and role models and use the skills developed today to do even bigger things in life tomorrow. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Connect with Central Ohio Sports Network on Twitter and Instagram at COSN Audio, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Central Ohio Sports Network. COSN social media will have score updates, pictures from the game, audio clips, interviews, and more. Follow and like today. Central Ohio Sports Network. Sports coverage by the fans. Welcome to the Halftime Report on Central Ohio Sports Network.
Halftime score here is 17-0 Westerville Central, leading unbeaten Dublin Jerome at the break. Welcome inside our Halftime Report. Hope you enjoyed your time with Skip Mossick with Tonight in High School Football. But it's the big talk right now. Westerville Central leading 17-0 at the half over Dublin Jerome. Getting all kinds of buzz in the Central Ohio area. This is probably one of those games where they thought Dublin Jerome was going to come out quick, handle business, and move on to week number 5. But Westerville Central said, no, we are in control at our home field, and we are going to set the tone, set the pace, and they've done just that. Several good drives by Westerville Central to take time off the clock. The opening drive, went for 65 yards, 8 minutes and 8 seconds off the clock. It was Miller to Buss for the 10-yard touchdown pass. They allowed 3:52 for Dublin Jerome to have the ball back. And then Westerville Central, the defense, has been stout in this first half of action. That's exactly what you wanted to see if you're Westerville Central. You wanted to see the growth. I mentioned it to Coach Frankie last night in the Josh Frankie Coaches Show that over the last 3 weeks you've seen growth. Week 1, that's probably bottom of the barrel, where you thought that maybe things would kind of be at certain moments. Then you see the Westerville South game. Things got better. You're playing at a higher level. Then Bell Fountain, last week, everything starts to come together. You take the lead. You control the football game. You control the line. You control the score. Everything works in your favor. The defense is getting big stops. That's what you want to see. And then tonight, you're coming into this game thinking, okay, Dublin Jerome, they've really only allowed so many points. This is the most points that they've allowed in a game on the season is 17 in a game. It's just the first half. And so Westerville Central really has put themselves in a position of control in that first half. And I can't imagine what the frustration must be for Dublin Jerome and head coach Mark Crabtree right now in that locker room. How upset is he at this scoreline? I don't know if I personally was prepared for how methodical Westerville Central would take 2 scoring drives, 1 15 plays, 1 13 plays. I just didn't see that going to be a big thing. But they won the opening toss. They elected to receive. Jerome will start the third quarter, with possession. Westerville Central able to get a field goal in. Now they make it a 3-score game. That is massive for Westerville Central, and I thought that first half really showed a lot, and we'll bring in our sideline reporter now, Wes Minke, who can add some of that detail from field level. And Wes, it was just an amazing first half, just to put it simply, for Westerville Central.
Yeah, and I think they put a complete game offensively and defensively. Defensively, obviously, shutting down the Jerome offense. You held them to 3 minutes of possession time, which I think is unheard of right now for the Central defense this season. But, man, this offense humming along, 3-4 yards, chipping the whole way down the field. They don't need those big pop plays that they're there right now for Omar Bangura. They've been there all season. Cam Heedman with a couple big plays tonight. But, honestly, it's been the chipping of offense all the way down the field. Kajai Johnson, Omar Bangura, Kevin Kingfoku playing big factors. Nate Miller looks comfortable in the pocket for the first time all season. And you heard what Coach Frankie had to say at halftime. This is one of the better games they played offensively, and his quarterback is settling in. And I think this could end up being a big second half for not only him, but Coach Frankie as well moving forward. Like you said, 3-0 Dublin Jerome. This will be a massive upset in the Columbus region.
Columbus region is a buzz right now with this scoreline. It's middle school band night for Westerville Central, so they've got their middle schoolers out there playing with the band a couple songs here at halftime. 17-0, Westerville Central leads Dublin Jerome. We'll have more of our halftime report next as we continue on Central Ohio Sports Network.
The phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait. Attention on the road, that's the only way. Phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Former Ohio State and NFL quarterback Bobby Hoying on life lessons through sports.
The member schools of the Ohio High School Athletic Association share in the mission of educational athletics. That means that school sports are an extension of the classroom and play an important part of a well-rounded education. Student athletes do a lot more than just play sports, but it's the lessons they learn through sports that last a lifetime.
This message brought to you by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Halftime Report on Central Ohio Sports Network.
17-0 here at halftime. Westerville Central leads Dublin Jerome at the break. Brent Ford back with you inside the halftime report. Wes Minke down on the sidelines for us as well. And, you know, Coach Frankie and his superstitions, we talked about it last night during the coaches show. But, Wes, the cough drops are working, and the sage mist is working as well. And if you're a superstitious guy, I think you just got to kind of buy into it at this point.
I'm telling you what, Coach Frankie is one of the most superstitious people I've ever met in my life. I'm superstitious myself. I'm very superstitious. If I, for instance, I'm bowling, I have a great game, I eat that meal every time I bowl until I bowl bad. So I can feel what Coach Frankie's feeling right now. I can understand his emotions. He's saying the sage mist is working. The cough drops are working. He just got offered a lollipop by a coach or two at the halftime. He said, no, not tonight. He's got to see it through. I understand it, Coach. I'm with you. Let's finish the game.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, he was talking about it last night, and, things that worked for him at Toronto he didn't get to do last year. He started to do them this year, and, hey, maybe it does work. Maybe it's one of those things that you go, hey, okay, superstitions work. And, hey, if the state champion bowler has those superstitions and they work, then I guess I need to start buying in a little bit more.
I think the Hall of Fame announcer needs to have one too, huh? What do you say?
I've got my own. I've got some things up here that I do before a game that I definitely am superstitious about. For anyone that knows, I have to have the pens in the correct order, right? You got to wear the certain polo on a certain night. You have to have everything set up according to how you like to run things. So creatures of habit, superstition, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same. When you're talking about how the second half is going to go, though, Wes, what would you like to see more out of this Westerville Central defense?
What I want to see more of this defense is kind of that secondary. I want to play a little tighter. I saw for the first time all season, I can't confirm names. I obviously don't have a roster in front of me like Brent does, but number 11 out wide for Westerville Central, he has been playing the entire game. I haven't seen him at all this season, and he's played a big factor in locking down those receivers. Bigger guy, too. I think he's about 6'1", 190, it looks like. So he's a bigger dude. He can shut down those bigger playmakers, and that's played a massive factor. He's kind of rerouted a lot of them, pushed them inside off their routes, and got them to a place where they don't want to be. Quarterback, kind of like Coach Frankie said last night, their quarterback very much in a hitch pattern. He likes to take those 3 steps, hitch, get the ball out. Tonight he has not had that opportunity, and I tell you, he's been in his face all night, Greg Woods.
Jackson Mark, the senior at 6', 167, has been injured. He played a significant role last year, but he's back now. Jackson Mark, one of the great senior leaders of this Westerville Central squad.
Kevin King-Foku limping on the sideline.
Westerville Central leads 17-0, and we'll check in with Wes on that remark when we come back. Second half action is going to be coming up next here on your home of the Warhawks, Central Ohio Sports Network.
This has been the Halftime Report on Central Ohio Sports Network.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Connect with Central Ohio Sports Network on Twitter and Instagram at COSN Audio, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Central Ohio Sports Network. COSN social media will have score updates, pictures from the game, audio clips, interviews, and more. Follow and like today. Central Ohio Sports Network. Sports coverage by the fans. This is the home of the Westerville Central Warhawks, Central Ohio Sports Network.
Second half getting ready to get underway here from Warhawk Field. Brent Ford, Wes Minke with you from the campus of Westerville Central High School. The Warhawks lead 17-0. And Wes, unfortunately, it looks like you said Kevin King-Foku has maybe a little bit of an injury to him right now.
Yeah, he's come up hobbling on the sidelines, walking around. I just talked to Coach Schaefer and Coach Frankie. Looks like he's going to go to start the second half, see what he can do. They said it's an ankle injury. Obviously, the worst thing you want to do in an ankle injury is get off the field and stop moving around. So he's been walking around, kind of keeping it moving the entire time. Wouldn't be surprised if I saw a trainer kind of taking some attention to it as well.
Dublin Jerome will have the football to start the second half. And we'll have to keep an eye on Kevin King-Foku on the next offensive series by Westerville Central. But it's the defense who has to come up big once again for the silver and black. And before this second half gets underway, let's check in one more time with Wes Minke.
Yeah, Coach Schaefer down here on the sideline gave me a great comment just a moment ago. He said, this is what we are built for, a boa constrictor. We got you where we want you. Time to squeeze the life out.
Coach Schaefer is an amazing hype guy. I want to spend an early morning lift there in the Performance Center and see what it's like for these Warhawk footballers. Moran sends it away into the back of the end zone, and Jerome will start this at their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Celtics of Dublin Jerome. Third quarter underway here. Brent Ford, Wes Minke from Warhawk Field. So Peoples will come out into the shotgun. He's going to have a 4-receiver set, split either side from his own 20 and one back in the backfield. Man in motion into the backfield. They're going to hand it off on first down. And nothing but a yard or two on that carry. Joey Slates was on that carry. And on the tackle, Musagala was on the stop, as well as, I believe, Noah Mitchell was actually the one that got there first. That's probably Wes's favorite defensive player is Noah Mitchell.
Boy in the middle.
Noah Mitchell, 6'1", 245. Built like a Mack truck. I like it. 2nd down and 8. Peoples throws into the near side at the 25, caught, and then making his way to the 30-yard line, Giantonio.
Kevin King-Foku got a mountain of ice on this ankle.
Pushed out of bounds by Hezi Musagala.
Actually, there's a new quarterback in there.
That's 1st and 10 for the Celts.
Rocco Lombardi is in there now for Dublin Jerome. Rocco Lombardi will set up into the shotgun. I might have missed that when the drive started. Sorry about that. But it is a new quarterback. He's got 4 wide, 3 to his right. Ball near hash mark. 1st and 10 at his own 32. Takes the snap, throws far side, incomplete. Intended on that far side for Giantonio. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Celtics. So what's the thought process of changing quarterback in the third quarter, Wes?
I think it's just a momentum game. Obviously, you're down 17-0. You're trusting your playmakers out wide, but obviously not getting it done so far in this game. Just got a quick update as well on Kevin King-Foku from the trainers on the Warhawks sideline, out for the game with an ankle injury.
Well, that's not what you want to hear if you're a Westerville Central fan. So Kevin King-Foku on the sideline. Lombardi over the middle, incomplete. Off the fingertips of Lucas Franks. He was running almost free at the Westerville Central 40-yard line. And that was one where the defense lost track of one of the wide receivers for Dublin Jerome.
If you heard last night as well on the coaches show, last week he had 1 catch for 60 yards and a touchdown. He's the big play threat.
Yeah, Franks probably need to keep our eye open on that one. 59 seconds gone in this third quarter. 17-0 Westerville Central. Jerome trying to put something together. 3rd and 10 at their own 32. Lombardi dropping back under pressure, and he's taken down in the backfield.
Well,
Moise Crozier with the takedown. Noah Mitchell with the initial pressure, and the Warhawks defense once again pressure in the backfield. Great job and a great look. Gotta love to see that, Wes.
Yeah, that's a big play right there by Moise Crozier. Obviously come on the Coach Frankie show and I guess, make a big play afterwards.
We'll make sure we tell that superstition to Coach. Punt is away for Dublin Jerome at their own 18 to take the bounce at around midfield. And Westerville Central will have great starting field position at their own 45-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10, Warhawks.
They're going to spot the ball. Yep, I thought they were going to maybe spot it short of the 45 or the 46, but they do get it at the 45, Westerville Central. 1st and 10, their first possession of the third quarter. 10-12 on this third quarter clock. And it'll be Rylan Moran out there, and how he splits out wide to the left. Omar Bangura goes to the left hip of Nate Miller in the shotgun. Miller takes the snap. They hand it off. Bangura near side, breaks a couple tackles, and lunges his way to the 49-yard line. Pickup of 4 yards. 2nd down and 6 coming up for Westerville Central.
Gain of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6 from the 49-yard line.
Well, if you're Rylan Moran, well, he's going to get subbed out here. But, Wes, if you're Rylan Moran, you got to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Not even just because Kevin King-Foku's out, but I think this is a big place for him. Coach talked about all year how they see him kind of as a 1A, 1B. Here's a big chance for it.
Kajai Johnson into the Wildcat. Motions Omar Bangura into the backfield. Johnson keeps it left side, and he tries to get around the edge, and he's going to lose a yard back to the 48-yard line. It'll be 3rd down for the Warhawks, and it looked like the defense, Wes, read that Kajai Johnson run from the beginning.
Yeah, they kind of snuffed that one out. That left edge kind of got split open, and a missed play there out wide by Mohamed Bangura. Misses his man, a guy gets behind him, kind of blows that play up.
3rd and 7 for Westerville Central at their own 48-yard line. 9 minutes and counting to play in the third quarter. Miller back out there in the shotgun. Rolls out to the near side from the left hash. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Omar Bangura was the intended target. It was a little low. It would have been enough for a 1st down, but it's going to bring up 4th down for Westerville Central, and they'll be forced to punt this one away. And this will be just their 2nd punt of the evening for the Warhawks.
Cohen Bus back in punt formation.
Take over the momentum there.
Ty Hack back deep for the Celtics.
Ty Hack back deep for Dublin Jerome. Cohen Bus in punt formation. 8:49 to play, third quarter. And penalty markers fly on the snap. Be a dead ball, false start on the offense.
False start on the Hawks.
So they'll be pushed back to their own 43-yard line. So 4th and 12 for Westerville Central. Bus sends it away. Comes to the near side, 25. And picked up right there by Westerville Central, and that's where they're down it. And Jerome will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Well, a slow start for both teams, Wes, but I thought that Westerville Central handled that opening possession pretty well based on not having Kevin King-Foku.
Yeah, I think they had to play the ball a little more through Omar Bangura. They tried to use him more of a scat back instead of using him out wide again. I think they got to keep using him out wide, though. That got to be the formula going forward. You got 2 big wideouts in Omar Bangura and Cam Hebner, plus Kevin Blas over the middle. I think the Warhawks have to rely on their playmakers and not try to force the ball inside with Omar Bangura.
Lombardi in at quarterback once again for Jerome. Goes with 4 wide, slings it to the near side, caught at the 27-yard line, and then down at the 30 to Giantonio. Several Warhawks in on the stop, including Musagala. It'll be a gain of 5 to the 30. Second down coming up for Jerome. And they want to move quickly on these plays. It looks like they're getting it signaled in. Lombardi relays that to the line. Play clock is at 18, 8:11 to play, third quarter. A 3-score game for Westerville Central on top. They'll hand it off. Gain of 4 on the play to the 34-yard line. Joey Slate's on the carry. And in on the tackle is Greg Woods for Westerville Central. It'll bring up third down now for Dublin Jerome.
From the 34-yard line.
At their own 34-yard line, 3rd and 1 for the Celtics. A 4-receiver set once again, ball between the hashes, 3rd down and 1 for the Celtics. They'll hand it off. Slates at the middle, breaks to the 35-40, 45. Penalty marker comes in, and Slates gets down to the 48-yard line. And we're going to have a sideline warning penalty against Westerville Central.
Sideline warning on the Warhawks. It's 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line for Jerome.
So 1st and 10, they convert Dublin Jerome. And it'll be at the 47-yard line. Lombardi out of the gun with a 4-receiver set. Throws far sideline, wide open, and it's caught at the Westerville Central 27 by Kurski. That'll be a 1st down for Jerome.
Number 3, Jack Kaczerski. Good for a
7:08 in this third quarter. And the offense for Dublin Jerome is coming alive under their newest quarterback, number 6, Rocco Lombardi. This time they'll hand it off. Slates up the middle, get to the Westerville Central 25. It'll bring up 2nd down. And a momentum shift here, Wes.
Yeah, you can kind of feel the energy kind of coming out of this Westerville Central sideline. I think they got to make this big move here. If you're going to do anything about it, I think it's going to come off that receiving game. And obviously, we've seen a big effort so far from Devin Smith out wide, but I'd like to see the other side get involved as well. Nick Creaky needs to kind of come down and play in the box a little more and force that pass over the top.
6:40 and counting, third quarter. Lombardi dropping back. Rolled from the pocket to the near side. Tucks and runs to the 20, tripped up. And down to the Westerville Central 18-yard line. He was tripped up on the play.
Short.
By Devon Lipsy. And
3rd and inches.
It will be 3rd and inches. Short on the carry. They move quickly. Lombardi out of the gun. 4 receivers set again. Slates the carry. And he's going to have enough for a 1st down. It'll get to the 16-yard line. It'll be a 1st down for Dublin Jerome. Jerome is really going to have to work here.
Tackled by number 41, J.J. Ruark. That's 1st and 10.
J.J. Ruark on the tackle for Westerville Central. 6 minutes to play, halfway gone in this third quarter. Lombardi out of the gun. Play clock at 17. Takes the snap, keeps it himself. Works near side 15, 10. Cuts the edge, 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown for Dublin Jerome from 16 yards out.
Touchdown for Jerome.
That drive looked a lot different for Dublin Jerome than what they looked like in that first half. And now for the point after. Their first points on the board tonight, Dublin Jerome. The point after, Luca Licata. 17-6 right now. Westerville Central still in the lead. Luca Licata has the ball down. He kicks it up, and it is good. 17-7.
That makes the score. Westerville Central, 17.
Westerville Central still leads. It's a 10-point lead, 2-score game. And Wes, talk about a different-looking Jerome offense.
Yeah, you kind of feel the air come out of the sideline there for the Warhawks, and I think it's a big effort play as well. Kind of get that edge there by the quarterback, Rocco Lombardi. Kind of caught the edge. Devin Smith kind of out of position. Looked like he got a little held up there by the receiver, but nonetheless gets out to the edge, beats him to the sideline, and he is making 6 points on the board for the Celtics.
A 75-yard play. Or drive, for the Celtics. Took 8 plays, 2 minutes, 56 seconds off the clock. And Westerville Central will put, what is that? A couple guys way back, but it looks like, will Jerome go for the onside kick here?
Warhawks, number 3, Nico Bogatic, and number 28, Christian Hahn.
No, they do not. They kick it deep, and this one is going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback.
The kick sails through the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20.
It'll be first and 10 for Westerville Central at their own 20. Well, the Warhawks in their first drive of the second half went 3 and out. Wes, what changes do you see coming in this second possession?
I think you got to have a steady diet of Omar Bangura in this drive for the Warhawks, and I think Cam Hebner has played a massive factor in this game to this point. It would be hard-pressed for me to see the Warhawks go away from him now.
5:46 remaining in this third quarter. 2 receivers set for Miller to the near side right. Starting at his own 20, whistles from the far sideline. And the center has to come out of the game. An equipment problem with him for Westerville Central. Cameron Gillig has to come out. And so that will put Connor Knepp in at center for Westerville Central. Miller will go under center now, and they'll hand it off. Rylan Moran, penalty markers come in. He makes his way to the 24-yard line, and that'll bring up second down. But we'll get this penalty here from the officials. The penalty markers come from the backfield, and it's a hold against Westerville Central. 5:39 to play third quarter. 10-point lead, Westerville Central, 17-7 over Dublin Jerome. Penalty will mark Westerville Central back to the 10-yard line, where it'll be first and 20 for Westerville Central. 5:37, clock winding now. Nate Miller out of the shotgun. 2 receivers near side right. Miller the snap. Keeps it himself. Rolls to the near side. Over the middle. Oh, Omar Bangura with the catch to the 20, 25, and makes his way to the 30-yard line. And they'll mark him up to the 32. Check that, back to the 31. Gain of 21 yards for Omar Bangura. What a play by Omar Bangura, Wes.
There's your steady diet part 1. I think the ball has to keep getting in his hands. Here comes a little switch up here on the sidelines, bringing Cam Hebner off, and coming in is Kajai Johnson. A little bit of a power formation now for the Warhawks.
5:10, clock winding down in the third quarter. 17-7, Westerville Central leads Dublin Jerome. Miller out of the gun for the Westerville Central Warhawks with 7 on the play clock. Bangura in motion, right formation to the left side. They'll hand it off to him on the return, but it was Dublin Jerome who knew that that was happening in the backfield, and bringing him down was Parker Middleton, and the Celtics read that all the way, Wes, and Warhawks didn't have much of a chance there.
I think the Warhawks have ran that play one time too many. They've seen Omar Bangura in that misdirection scheme a little bit too much, and Coach Frankie's starting to get caught up here by the other side.
4:30 to play in the third. Westerville Central looking at second and 14, Cam Hebner comes to the near side right outside the numbers. 2 men inside of him, ball between the hashes at their own 27-yard line, second and 14. Miller under pressure, rolls to his left, throws all the way out of bounds. There's no Warhawks anywhere over on that side, and it's incomplete. I think Coach Crabtree wanted the intentional grounding. Did it look that way, Wes?
Yeah, it is going to be intentional grounding. He did not get out of that tackle box on the left side.
Yeah, the referee did throw it late, and he does signal intentional grounding on Westerville Central. So the Warhawks will be backed up a little bit more. And Coach Frankie, you can see talking to the official on the sideline, but
I kind of think Coach Frankie's only chance there was he thought he was out of the tackle box on the left side, but this official confirms he was not.
Well, that will move it to third down. So it's third and a long way to go for Westerville Central. Out of the gun is Miller. Three receivers. Pressure comes. Throws far sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. He thought that Omar Bangura was going to run up the sideline, but Bangura was inside the numbers on that play, so miscommunication between quarterback and receiver, and that'll bring up 4th and 26 for Westerville Central, and an opportunity to continue to drain the clock west. They couldn't do it there.
Yeah, Omar Bangura kind of ran a post route there rather than running that go fade, and I think Nate Miller thought he was going to run that go fade.
And so Cohen Bus will line up in punt formation. The snap goes over the head of Cohen Bus and into the back of the end zone. And that'll be a safety and add 2 points to Dublin Jerome. So that makes it 17-9 and makes this a little bit closer for Dublin Jerome on that safety. High snap over the head of Cohen Bus, and it is a one-score game.
The Warhawks will kick from the 20-yard line.
Warhawks to kick from the 20-yard line. .403 to play in the third quarter. And this will be Rylan Moran. Kick from the 20-yard line. It's got to be a big boot here for Rylan Moran, and he gets quite a bit on it. Man, all the way back to the 14-yard line goes Dublin Jerome. They'll bring it out to the 30, 35, and they're stopped there. Great tackle, open field by Braden Warden, bringing down Matthew Giantonio, and it'll be Dublin Jerome football at their own 35-yard line is where they'll start this drive.
It'll be 1st and 10 Jerome from the 35-yard line.
1st and 10 for Jerome. Good field flip for Westerville Central special teams. A little personnel issue for Westerville Central, but they get it figured out. 1st and 10 for Dublin Jerome. 4 receivers set for the Celtics. 17-9, Westerville Central leads. Slate's the ball carrier, and nothing going there. No gain on the play, no loss of yards, and Westerville Central is able to get a big stop. Musagala is in on the stop.
Musagala. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 35.
2nd down and 10 for Dublin Jerome at their own 35-yard line. Well, if the defense needed a wake-up call, Wes, they need one here now as it's 2nd and 10, and Lombardi takes the snap low, steps up into the pocket, loose football! It's at the 30-yard line, picked up by Westerville Central. All the way to the 10, 5, down inside the 2-yard line. What a pickup by Moise Crozier!
Greg Woods off the edge again.
Greg Woods, Moise Crozier, coming up big for Westerville Central.
Number 26, Greg Woods caused the fumble for the Warhawks.
The Warhawk offense.
1st and goal from the 2-yard line.
You talk about a field flip, Brent.
Oh, it is a field flip. Go ahead, Wes.
You talk about a field flip. That is a massive play there. Greg Woods off the edge, dips underneath the left tackle, slips right past him, strips that ball right off his right hand, and Moise Crozier. Talk about a guy who's playing the game of his life right now.
First and 10, Westerville Central, Miller under center. The handoff goes nowhere for Rylan Moran. He'll lose a couple yards back to the 4. It'll bring up second down.
Moran on the carry, loss of 2 on the play.
Might have found our player of the game, Brent.
Number 1, Kwame Bosley.
I would agree. Good point. Post-game interview coming up afterwards. Coach Frankie and Wes will pick his player of the game. That's a special delivery to the Minky mailbox of the player of the game. Certified mail on that one. Second and goal to the near side. Rylan Moran is going to get to the 5, back to the line of scrimmage at the 4. And that'll bring up third and goal for Westerville Central. Boy, Westerville Central's really got to take advantage of this opportunity here.
Yeah, and I think the problem that I've seen so far is they're trying to force that ball down the gut with Rylan Moran. They need to just rely on this offense, rely on Nate Miller's wheels as well, getting out of the pocket and force something outside.
Kevin Blas is in there. Rylan Moran, Omar Bangura. Cam Hebner goes wide to the left. I should say left of the line with Cohen Buss. Miller out of the gun. Moran onto his left side hip. Play clock at 6. Ball near hash mark. Third and goal at the 4. Snap to Miller. Hands it off. Bangura cuts up into the middle. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Omar Bangura and the Westerville Central Warhawks. (23-9) Westerville Central over Dublin Jerome. 1:42 to play in this third quarter. Cohen Buss with the point after. Nico Bogatic to hold. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and it is good. 25-9, set up by the strip by Greg Woods. Fumble recovered by Moise Crozier, bringing it back to the 2-yard line, and Wes, they were able to capitalize.
I'm telling you right now, you talk about a momentum shifter, that safety, and then 2 plays later, Greg Woods strip sack, touchdown a couple plays after that. Man, this is a momentum shifter for this Warhawks offense.
Capped off by Omar Bang Bang Bangura, 4-yard run for touchdown.
Bang Bang is crazy.
Bang Bang Bangura was what was said over the PA by Phil West. That might have to catch on there, Wes.
Hey, I told you, Omar Bang Bang Bangura right there.
A minute 42 in this third to play. And Westerville Central leads 24-9. Rylan Moran for the kickoff. Sends it in between the 2 deep backs, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback.
He's inevitable, Brent. He's inevitable.
Inevitable. Exactly. So 1st and 10, Dublin Jerome. And we'll see what the Celtics have here. The message on their sideline had to be protect the football at all costs.
I think a backup quarterback kind of plays into that as well.
I would agree. I would agree. First and 10, Dublin Jerome at their own 20. Low snap. Lombardi all alone, throws, caught by Giantonio, and he makes his way up the far sideline. It'll bring up second down. And there's going to be flag in the secondary. And are there too many men on the field? Is that what they're going to call? More than 11? Nope. Yep.
We're going to wave that flag off.
No penalty. They wave it off. Second down for Dublin Jerome at their own 28-yard line.
2nd and 2.
And Coach Crabtree in the ears of the officials as one Westerville Central Warhawk came off the field, and I think he was pleading for that too many men on the field. Can they call that now after the fact, after they see a player go off the field after they had waved it off?
I'm not sure you can take that flag back and then put it back out again. I don't know if that's legality.
That's a good point. Legality of the rules, would they be allowed to do that? I don't think so.
There's no instant replay in high school football.
We do have cameras up here, though. We've got a great camera operator to my left who makes really good highlights of these games. And I'm going to forget the username on YouTube, and he'll write it down for me. One Cool Cat on YouTube. That's right.
Illegal substitution call on the Warhawks.
They are going to call that. Illegal substitution by the Warhawks. So I didn't think that they would be allowed to throw the flag, pick it up, and then throw it back down for the same thing, but apparently they are. So illegal substitution. That's going to be an automatic first down for Westerville Central, and now we've got more whistles, and the officials are going to talk about even more things.
Talk about the pace of play here.
They're going to maybe respot this ball and give Jerome, boy, even more to the 43. What was the call on that one?
Yeah, I don't know.
Phil West over the PA. I don't think he realized his mic was hot, and he said, I don't know. 1st and 10, though, for Jerome, and down goes the quarterback. Greg Woods brings down Lombardi.
Tackled by number 26, Greg Woods.
Big play by Greg Woods. A loss back to the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd down. A lot of confusion on that last series of events, but it's now 2nd down and 13 for Dublin Jerome at their own 40. 1:05 to play in the 3rd. Movement on the line, and we're going to get penalty markers. It's encroachment against the defense.
Encroachment, call on the Warhawks.
It looked like that was Saeed Kibi who jumped off sides for Westerville Central. So now it'll be 2nd down and 8, under a minute to play in this 3rd quarter for Dublin Jerome at their own 45. Lombardi has time in the pocket, throws near side. It's caught. Giantonio at midfield.
Lombardi's pass completion.
That'll stop the clock. He gets out of bounds. It's 3rd down with 46 seconds to play in this 3rd quarter.
Be 3rd and 3 from midfield.
3rd down 3 for Jerome. .46 seconds. Clock is stopped. 4 receivers set, 3 to the right for Lombardi out of the gun. Warhawks were showing some pressure. They back out of it. New play on the sideline for Jerome. Lombardi relays to the line. 3rd down and 3. The Warhawk fans are getting loud. 46 seconds in the 3rd to play. Here's Lombardi on the snap. Play clock hits 0. He throws over the middle. Caught at the Westerville Central 45. And getting into the Westerville Central 42 is Lucas Franks. That'll be a 1st down for Dublin Jerome. And they want to move quickly. Clock is winding. Under 35 seconds to play now in the 3rd quarter. Here's Lombardi. 4 receivers. Low snap. He bobbles it, loses it, rolls out to his right. Under pressure. Greg Woods is there. Throw along the sideline, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Lucas Franks, but good coverage by Westerville Central there on that toss along the far side. Wes?
14, yeah, big play again.
Julian Bradley had the coverage.
Julian Bradley.
For the Warhawks.
22 seconds.
Warhawks corners have to play a big game tonight, and they have stepped up in a big way. They have shut down that outside passing game of Dublin Jerome.
2nd and 10 at the Westerville Central 42. Lombardi hands it off, and it's going to be a run for Slates, and he's finally brought down along the far side by 1 or 2 Warhawks. Didn't quite see the numbers on that one. Jackson Mark in on the stop.
Gotta go to the 4th quarter here.
And it looks like Lombardi says, all right, let's take a break. After 3 quarters of play, Westerville Central leads Dublin Jerome 24-9 on Central Ohio Sports Network.
Connect with Central Ohio Sports Network on Twitter and Instagram at COSN Audio, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Central Ohio Sports Network. COSN social media will have score updates, pictures from the game, audio clips, interviews, and more. Follow and like today. Central Ohio Sports Network. Sports coverage by the fans.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Ohio. This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
This is the home of the Westerville Central Warhawks, Central Ohio Sports Network.
Fourth quarter about to get underway here from Warhawk Field. Brent Ford, Wes Minke with you. And Westerville Central leads Dublin Jerome 24-9 through 3 quarters of play. Jerome is driving, though, as they are looking at third down to start this fourth quarter. Lombardi now working left to right as we see it. Pressure, throws to the 45-40, breaks a tackle, goes Slates, and he'll be stopped at the Westerville Central 37-yard line. It's going to bring up fourth down, though, for Dublin Jerome. Jackson Mark on the stop for the silver and black. 11:42, clock winding down to play. 4th and 5, decision time, and it looks like Lombardi is going to step up into the shotgun formation. 2 receivers near side right, 2 out wide to the left. Ball near hash mark at the Westerville Central 37. To his left hip goes Slates. Lombardi out of the gun. Play clock is down to 8. Relays the play to the line. Play clock at 5. Lombardi, crowd getting wild here at Warhawk Field. Lombardi dropping back on the snap, throwing over the middle, looking deep, and it's going to be incomplete. Penalty markers fly on the play. Lombardi was looking for Giantonio, and several Warhawks are going to be called for pass interference, but it's going to be against Dublin Jerome. It's going to be offensive pass interference.
That penalty will be declined. It'll be 1st and 10, Warhawks.
That was a 4th and 5. That'll be a turnover on downs at the Westerville Central 37. Well, Wes, that's a great series of events right there.
Yeah, I think Coach Frankie originally thought that one was going to be defensive pass interference. He was kind of losing his mind over here, but a great play coming from that weak side corner, and he broke up that pass deep on that 4th down.
11:10 to play, and Westerville Central with the football. 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Omar Bangura will go out wide to the right. Ball near hash mark. Westerville Central working right to left as we see it in a 24-9 game. The Warhawks with the lead. They'll hand it off. Rylan Moran right side. He's going to get a few to the 40. Maybe they do mark him up to the 40-yard line. 2nd down coming up for Westerville Central.
Number 22, Parker Middleton. Gain of 3 on the play.
Gain of 3. 2nd down 7 at the 40-yard line for Westerville Central. Their own 40. Under 11 to play in the game. 24-9. Miller looking at the clock, and you can tell that this is a drain as much time as possible moment. He'll snap it at the last possible second. He does here, hands it off. Omar Bangura working across the 40 and gets to about the 41. Did the ball come loose? Dublin Jerome might have come away with the loose fumble, pickup, and recovery. They did. The official on the near side is saying that it was a fumble picked up by Dublin Jerome, and the Celtics get the football back. Well, that's not a turn of events that anyone wanted to see either on the home side, Wes.
Yeah, honestly, I thought Omar Bangura was called down. It looked like he had his back to the defender who punched it out from behind. So, obviously a bad turn of events for the Warhawks, but now that defense got to show back up again.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line.
So from the Westerville Central 39-yard line, Dublin Jerome will have a 1st and 10. 10:18 to play, and we're going back and forth right now. At the Westerville Central 39, here's Dublin Jerome. Lombardi out of the gun, 4 receivers, 3 to his left, takes the snap, looks left, fires, caught at the 36-yard line by Franks. He breaks a tackle at 35, now up to the 33-yard line. It'll be 2nd down.
Gain of 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd down to 3.
And Wes, it's just, It's incredible how right now both teams are playing just a little bit sloppy.
Yeah, it's going both ways, too. It's Warhawks making an effort to get the ball down the field and to make a turnover. Dublin Jerome takes over, turnover, back and forth over and over and over again. So big game here.
2nd and 3. Lombardi pressured in the pocket, rolls out to the near side, breaks one tackle, throws the sideline near side, and it's incomplete. Batted away on the play by Jackson Mark.
He's been everywhere tonight.
Jakurski was the intended target, but Jackson Mark was able to bat it away. 3rd down and 3 for Dublin Jerome at the Westerville Central 32-yard line.
This defense.
Massive addition is correct. 3 receivers near side right for Jerome. Lombardi out of the gun. They hand it off. Slates gets the first down to the Westerville Central 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Dublin Jerome. A 32-yard scamper for Slates.
Got to go for 2 here.
Well, it looks like Dublin Jerome is going to elect to go for the point after and not a 2-point conversion. Currently 24-15, Westerville Central. And now for the point after. Kick is up, and it is good.
Licata's kick is good.
Licata puts it through the uprights, 24-16. Westerville Central leads. Dublin Jerome gets on the board once again. And that was only a few yards that really Westerville Central just needed to stop, and they allowed some big gaps right there. But I would say good blocking, though, by the offensive line of Dublin Jerome to create that opportunity, Wes.
Yeah, and it looks like, too, I mean, the Warhawks were stopping them defensively back to back to back to back, and eventually one's got to go and one's got to give, and Jerome's playmakers are too talented to get stuffed up that many times in a row. So obviously one big play, still an 8-point game, and I think Coach Frankie is going to be pretty aggressive with this offensive game plan here. You got to love the fact that Omar Van Gro's had the ball in his hands, but that one turnover been costly so far. Make this a one-possession game.
.9:31 to play in this one, and Dublin Jerome will kick off to Westerville Central. Licata ready to kick it away. Bokatic. And Christian Juan back deep for Westerville Central. Kick is away. Hahn is going to let this one sail into the back of the end zone, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Westerville Central at their own 20-yard line. Well, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will be the 9th possession for Westerville Central in this game. With 9:31 to play in the game. 1st and 10, Westerville Central at their own 20. Miller into the shotgun. Will have Rylan Moran lined up behind him. Play clock is at 14. Blas in motion in the backfield. They'll hand it off. Rylan Moran breaks one tackle, and then he's going to be brought down for a loss back to the 18-yard line. 2nd and 12 coming up for Westerville Central, and he was able to shake off one defender there, Wes, but couldn't get that guy to stay down.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of shook that guy at first and then stood still for a second, waiting for that gap to open up and give himself a chance to run through it. So got to take a better chance there and run through that gap.
Cam Hebner, Omar Bangora go out wide to the right with one man inside of them. One back in the backfield, Miller out of the gun. Miller wants to throw, flush from the pocket, over the middle, and it's caught by one-handed. 27-yard line into the hands of Julian Bradley. That'll bring up 3rd down and a little bit more manageable here. In on the stop, Chase Ergrot.
Here comes the jumbo package.
And yeah, you're right, the jumbo package coming in for Westerville Central. Kajai Johnson in at quarterback now, who has experience as a quarterback. Bunched on the left side of the line. 3rd down and 3. Westerville Central at their own 27. Direct snap to Rylan Moran. Trips his way to the 30, 32-yard line, and that'll be enough for a first down. Westerville Central.
They've done that same play now 3 times in a row, and every time the direct snap has gone to the off back, it's worked each time.
1st and 10, Westerville Central. At their own 32-yard line, and we hit the 8-minute mark to play in this one. Well, if you're Coach Frankie, you want these long drives, the way you did to start the game. Little end-around trickery here, and Omar Bangura can't get off the defender. He makes his way to the 35-yard line. Parker Middleton was in on the stop. Second down for Westerville Central at their own 35-yard line. 2nd and 7, 7:18 to play.
Tick, 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 tick.
And the clocks are winding down, and Coach Frankie says, I need to burn a timeout. Nate Miller wasn't ready, and the Warhawks have to burn that timeout. Wes, when you think about draining the clock, it's not draining the clock without the right personnel.
Yeah, and I think the factor right now, biggest for the Warhawks right now, has been Nate Miller. He has to be ready for this play call, and I think eventually it's going to come down to his arm and his legs. I know that, Kevin King-Foku has been the biggest factor for this Warhawks offense this whole season, but at this point in the game, no Kevin King-Foku, Omar Bangura coming off a fumble. These offensive receivers for the Warhawks have been stars tonight outside. Cam Hebner, Kevin Blas made a touchdown catch last week. You got to rely on these guys, and I think it's going to come down to his arm. Rylan Moran's not been that much of a playmaker with his legs so far in this run game. The Warhawks have to go back to what's been working all night.
2nd and 7. Westerville Central at their own 35-yard line.
All right, it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 35.
Westerville Central will have 2 timeouts remaining, 7:08 to play. Miller will work onto the gun. Moran onto his left side hip. 3 receivers bunched onto the right side of the line. Kachai Johnson and Kevin Blas in motion to the near side. Now Omar Bangura. They pitch it to him. Finds a blocker to the 35-40. Penalty markers. Takes a tackle to the 45 midfield. Omar Bangura breaks free. Jerome territory. 25-20. And finally drugged down from behind at the 16-yard line. But this one's coming back. Penalty is against Westerville Central. And the Warhawks will have to come back and try this one again. Yeah, Wes, I didn't see the penalty marker, what the call was. Did you happen to see that?
I didn't catch it. I would have to guess by the way they're backing up, it's probably a holding call, but
yeah, there
I
it
didn't
is.
catch it.
Yep, the official just signaled it. It's a hold against Westerville Central. So we'll try 2nd down again. It'll be spotted at the 25-yard line, 2nd and 17. For Westerville Central, ball to the near hash mark. Working right to left are the Warhawks. So Omar Bangura better catch his breath quick. He's out wide to the right inside the slot. Mailer wants to go far side off the fingertips of his intended target. And he was looking for Julian Bradley. Incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and 17 now for Westerville Central.
Mateo Karam had the coverage for the Celtics.
Coach Frankie relaying the play to Nate Miller, and he'll work from the near hash mark, 25-yard line, 3rd and 17, 6:42 to play. They need that clock to run. 4 receivers split either side for Miller. Takes the snap under pressure. He loses it from behind. He got stripped as he went to throw, but luckily Rylan Moran was there to fall on it. It'll be a loss back behind the 20 all the way to the 17-yard line. It'll be 4th and very long for Westerville Central, and unfortunately not where you wanted to be if you're Westerville Central trying to drain clock in this fourth quarter with a 24-16 lead.
That's the second time now Mohamed Bangura has gotten beat on that left edge by that rusher from Dublin Jerome. So 2 times in a row he's got to make an adjustment here.
Punt is away. Brought down at the midfield. All the way to the Westerville Central 40. Breaking tackles to the 35. And finally, Hawk is brought down.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Dublin Jerome from the 33-yard line.
From the Westerville Central 33-yard line.
Had the tackle for the Hawks on that return.
5:49 to play. Jerome has 3 timeouts remaining. Westerville Central all-time leads this matchup 8-5. Lombardi out of the gun. Play action. He's going to be dropped from behind.
Who else?
Look at that play. That was Braden Warden who brought him down. Great play by Warden to get into the backfield, lost to the 20 or the 40-yard line, excuse me. 2nd down and long coming up for Jerome. 5:28 to play.
You're going to love hearing this, Brent. That play was caused right there by Greg Woods.
Caused by Greg Woods. I like that. Lombardi out of the gun. Pressure! Down he goes. Penalty marker comes in. No, the football might have been lost. There's a fumble on the play. Greg Woods coming from behind on Lombardi. There's a fumble on the play. And Westerville Central's going to come away with it.
2 strip sacks for Greg Woods.
Number 72, Naheed Kebby had the recovery for the Hawks. It'll bring up 1st and 10.
Incredible. A strip sack, his 2nd of the night, Greg Woods.
Think I found my player of the game, huh?
You might have found that player of the game. That's right. So from their own 47-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 Westerville Central with 5:09 to play in this game. And this is where you just want to make sure you drain clock. Yeah, I would agree. Where this is a great opportunity if you had Kevin King Foku available. Miller under center, hands it off. Bangura on the end around, breaks a tackle to midfield, keeping to his feet to the Jerome 45-yard line, down inside to the 43. That'll be enough for a 1st down, pickup of 10 yards, Omar Bangura.
Number 22, Parker Middleton had the tackle.
Middleton on the tackle.
Another 1st down for your Warhawks.
1st down for the Warhawks of Westerville Central. 24-16, Warhawks lead the Celtics. 4:40 to play. Under center is Miller. They hand it off to the up man, and no gain on that one for J.J. Ruark.
J.J. Ruark on the carry.
2nd down coming up.
Number 54 had the tackle. Let's see, that's Aiden Kors for the Celtics.
2nd and 10, Westerville Central at the Jerome 42-yard line. Play clock at 20. 4:06 on the game clock. Plenty of opportunity here to drain time. Miller has to really take his time here. Lots of movement, and the Celtics came over. Encroachment on the defense. 2nd and 5 coming up for Westerville Central.
Down to bring up 2nd and 5 from the 38-yard line.
Ball will be spotted to the 38-yard line. Clocks will wind, and now Westerville Central has 35 seconds on the play clock to drain. They can take their time. They go to the huddle. They can walk in. Nate Miller lets his backs in the backfield know what they're going to run. Omar Bangura, Rylan Moran. Ruark in the back as well. Miller waiting to go under center. 15 on the play clock. 3 timeouts remain for Jerome, 2 for Westerville Central. Miller now goes under center. He waits, takes the snap, hands it off. Omar Bangura to the left side, and he's brought down to the 36-yard line. 3rd down coming up for the silver and black.
Number 1, Kwame Bosley.
Warhawks kill that time.
Tackle for the Celtics.
Under 3 to play. More time to kill. As Westerville Central trying to make sure that they get every second accounted for here. Miller
3rd down.
Goes under center, 3rd and 3 at the Celtic 36. Rylan Moran gets the handoff, and he's going to be stopped for a loss. Coach Crabtree calls a timeout on the far side. 2:24 to play, and it's 4th down coming up for Westerville Central as Coach Crabtree uses one of his 3 timeouts in this one. Well, Wes, it's going to come down to the wire here a little bit, and as long as Westerville Central can clock manage and protect the football, they're going to try and come away with a win here.
I think this game has fallen 100% onto the hands of this defense, and Coach Harr has a handful to worry about here with 2.5 minutes left. But I think the biggest factor for the Warhawks, you can potentially go for this here, 4th and 5 on the 38-yard line, get this 1st down, and potentially end this game. So a lot of decision-making. Obviously an 8-point game, not out of reach by any means for Jerome, but there is certainly a decision in the hands of Coach Frankie right now.
4th and 5 for Westerville Central at the Jerome 38.
They're going for it.
Yeah, Nate Miller is trotting out there.
I wouldn't be shocked here if Coach Frankie calls for a timeout.
He's got 2 to burn. Miller under center. He's going to flip out wide to the left. Bangura now into the Wildcat here. 4th and 5. Bangura in the shotgun. And he's going to punt this one away. A little boot onto the right side. Bounces at the 20-yard line. And Westerville Central downs it right around that 21-yard line.
Bangura's punt rolls down at the 20-yard line.
2:15 to play. And Jerome will have it 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Well, it's crunch time now for the Celtics. They've got 2:15, 2 timeouts. They're down 24-16. And this is probably the most important possession that they've had of the game here, Wes.
Yeah, this is a massive possession, not only for this game, but for this season for the Celtics, really.
Lombardi in the shotgun, throws over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted by Westerville Central! Picked up to the 20 and down to the 16-yard line, into the hands of Julian Bradley.
Intercepted by number 14, Julian Bradley. 1st and 10, Warhawks.
Can you believe that, Wes?
That is unreal. Julian Bradley, have a day.
Oh, my gosh. Julian Bradley. 2:04 to play, and Westerville Central has the ball right back. They're at the Dublin Jerome 18-yard line. 1st and 10, Westerville Central with 2:04 to play. And you know what's funny is that Coach Frankie talked about the defense not having any interceptions through the first 3 weeks. And now tonight, they've garnered a couple.
Yeah, it's been crazy so far. See if they can finish this game off.
Whistles by the officials. And
knee pads again.
Knee pads again. You're right, Wes.
Officials timeout for equipment.
Can't be above the knees, the pads. They have to be down on the knees. 2:04 to play. Miller will go under center with 3 backs in the backfield. Takes the snap, hands it off. Omar Bangura gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe even a loss of 1.
On the carry.
It'll be second down now for Westerville Central.
I think you want to get to at least third down here with about 6 yards to play with. At least give yourself a chance at a field goal.
Clock is ticking. Play clock at 22, game clock 141. Personnel changes
Coach
for
Frankie's going to call timeout here with about a second left.
Westerville Central. Yeah, Wes, you're right. And that will be a timeout for Westerville Central. They burn 1. They have 1 remaining. 1:19 to play in the game. Westerville Central leads 24-16 with 1:19 to play against the undefeated Dublin Jerome Celtics. And, well, Wes, week 1, we know what that looked like. Week 2, shown improvement. Week 3, a win. And now week 4, you're taking on undefeated Dublin Jerome, and you're up 24-16 with 1:19 to play. And to say that there hasn't been improvement would be false.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. I mean, that was Coach Frankie's first home win. 2 seasons, first home win. And now he's got a chance to knock off one of the best teams in Central Ohio at home. And I don't know, this Westerville Central team does not look the same as it did 2 weeks ago. And I can promise you this right now, that defense is playing with their hair on fire. This defense is an inspired unit. Coach Har has dug up a game plan, and it's working to perfection so far.
Yeah, it's been a great game for Westerville Central. The loss of Kevin King-Foku, though, at halftime, that could have been the break in this game, but Westerville Central has held on and tried to do everything they can to make sure that that wasn't going to play a huge factor. Second and 10. Miller out of the gun, out of the timeout. They hand it off to Bangura. He gets to the 20-yard line, maybe the 19-yard line. There'll be a loss of 1, third down coming up, and Westerville Central again, they can drain a lot of clock here.
That play clock's not moving up top.
Timeout on the field called by Dublin Jerome. That's their second.
That's why.
Dublin Jerome called the timeout. That is why. Each team has 1 timeout remaining with 1:14 to play here in the game. And Dublin Jerome has had multiple opportunities to strike back in this second half. They got 9 points in the third. They put a touchdown on the board here in the fourth quarter. They've been pretty close, but they've been off by just a little bit here and there, and they started out slow in the first half, though, Wes.
And Brent, I mentioned to you, this is the most aggressive game plan Coach Frankie has had all season, and I think it has to be aggressive here again. You have to go for this first down. I think it's an all or nothing kind of down. Worst case scenario, you put yourself in a good chance for a field goal opportunity. And I think best case, you get a first down and end the game. So either way, Coach Frankie's got to be aggressive with this one. This is well within range for your kicker. If it's not, maybe he's not the right kicker.
Well, there is no Ben Buchanan down there for those Warhawk alums that remember that Warhawk class of 2008. The ultimate Warhawk in the first decade.
Hey, I was an athlete a decade myself.
There you go. State champion bowler down there on the sidelines. Nate Miller on the rollout, and he's going to give himself up as he's going to lose yards back to the 27-yard line. And that'll bring up fourth down now for Westerville Central. And timeout for Dublin Jerome. They're last of the game, and there will be 1:07 to work with on the clock.
Coach Frankie knows better than I do, but that was an uber passive play there. You force the timeout out of Dublin Jerome's hands, but at the same time, you only kill about 6 seconds.
Yeah, and that's something that could be pulled out of Minky's mailbox next Thursday when we have the Josh Frankie Coaches Show from Time and Change here in Westerville. We'll recap this game next Thursday, get you set for the next game. But here in the post game of tonight, Wes will have Coach Frankie in the post game, and he'll pick his player of the game as well. I know you're a toss-up still.
I think I've narrowed it down to one guy.
Wow, that's probably the pick then, right?
I think it's got to be.
We'll find out who that is in the postgame. And now it looks like Cohen Buss from the 34-yard line is going to go for a 44-yard field goal into the north end zone. No win, 44 yards. And
not
this
enough.
Not going to have enough. It'll be short.
Cohen Buss's field goal attempt.
And that's why I think that run backwards by Nate Miller just cost you 3 points and potentially cost you the game. That is a easy field goal make at the 20-yard line. At the 26, not so much.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Westerville Central.
Jerome from the 20-yard line.
So 1 minute, no timeouts for Dublin Jerome. And they will be spotted at their own 20-yard line. Big possession here for Dublin Jerome. They're down 24-16 with a minute to play and no timeouts. Lombardi out of the gun, 4 wide for him. Quick throw into the flat far side, incomplete. Giantonio was the intended target.
Intended for Giantonio, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10 for Jerome. That stops the clock with 57 seconds to play. Lombardi out of the gun. Play clock at 18. Has some time. 4 receivers set. Either side. Takes the snap. Throws back to Giantonio. 25-30. Far sideline and out of bounds. He goes to the 34-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Celtics of Jerome with 50 seconds to play. Make their way to the 32-yard line, excuse me. They mark him back. It still is enough for the first down. 24-16, Westerville Central leads Jerome. Lombardi out of the gun, working from his own 32-yard line. Down 24-16, near side, incomplete. Footsteps were heard, and it goes in and out of the hands of Lucas Franks. And right there on the coverage was Julian Bradley. 46 seconds to play. Second down for Dublin Jerome at their own 32-yard line. 24-16, Westerville Central.
Another great pass break up there by Julian Bradley.
Lombardi out of the gun. 3 receivers to his right. Looking to the far sideline. Caught. Enough for a first down to the 46-yard line. Into the hands of Remy Althouse of Jerome. And that'll move the chains for the Celtics. They're up to their own 47-yard line. 1st and 10, Jerome. 41 seconds to play. Lombardi under pressure, hit as he throws, caught by Althouse in Westerville Central territory at the 39-yard line. First down, Jerome. They're moving. The defense for Westerville Central can't get set, but Lombardi spikes it, and it'll be second down coming up for the Jerome Celtics, and a timeout for Coach Frankie to give his defense a little breather. No one has timeouts remaining. Wes, it comes down to 30 seconds in this defense for Westerville Central.
Yeah, and I think the biggest factor I've seen in this drive so far is those out routes have been wide open for Dublin Jerome. It seems like the corners for Central don't want to get beat over top, but they're also getting up that underneath route. So how tight a coverage do you want to play? How tight of a risk are you willing to play for the Warhawks and Coach Hall right now in defense? For me, I'd say leave your safeties on an island back deep. Play that press coverage, make them get the ball out quick, and make them force it down low.
We'll see what happens. Westerville Central trying to beat Dublin Jerome, who's 3-0 coming into tonight. The Warhawks trying to get to 2-2 on the season, as they thought this was a challenge tonight. Waiting on the doorstep for next Friday night, their second road game of the year will be at Olentangy to take on the Braves. Out of the timeout, no timeouts remain. 30 seconds to play. Jerome with the football at the Westerville Central 42. It's second down and 10. A run up the middle, and Slates will have it. And he gets a gain of 9. It's going to be third down, and Lombardi's going to have to spike this one again and force fourth down.
Biggest play of the game right here, Brent.
That it is. It'll be 4th and 1 for Jerome. with 16 seconds to play. At the Westerville Central 33-yard line.
You can feel it.
16 seconds to play. 4th and 1, Jerome. Trailing 24-16. Lombardi, the snap, looks near side, cut, and that'll be enough for a first down. He can't get out of bounds to the 30-yard line. It'll be picked up by Lucas Franks. The clock is going to stop momentarily, but Lombardi has to spike it quick, and he does.
8.3.
So now it'll be second down for Dublin Jerome with 8 seconds to play and a 24-16 lead, Westerville Central. 2nd and 10 for Dublin Jerome at the Westerville Central 29-yard line.
Now is where you play your safeties deep. You do not let anything over top regardless. Those corners are playing 10, 15 yards off coverage.
Lombardi out of the gun, the snap, 4 deep. Wanting to go toward the end zone, and it's going to go out of bounds. Incomplete, almost intercepted by Westerville Central. They were looking for Jack Karosky, and it's incomplete. In on the coverage was Cam Hebner, and he almost had the pick in the end zone. Now it's 3rd down. Clock is stopped. 3 seconds to play. Jerome at the Westerville Central 29. They trail 24-16. 1 play for the Celtics. 3rd and 10. At the 29 of Westerville Central, Lombardi the snap, looking to his left, firing to the deep part of the end zone, and it's going to be knocked down. That's it. It's over. The Warhawks get the win over Dublin Jerome, 24-16.
And that's your final, ladies and gentlemen. Westerville Central 24, Dublin Jerome 16.
Unreal.
An amazing scene at Warhawk Field as the Warhawks get the win over Dublin Jerome.
That is the upset of the season right there, Brent.
I would agree, Wes. That's a big upset for Westerville Central over Dublin Jerome. Let's take a break. When we come back, our post-game wrap-up here from Warhawk Field as the Warhawks are victorious in Week 4, 24-16 on Central Ohio Sports Network.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Ohio at highschoolofficials.com.
Put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I perform for our high school choir director, who taught me to breathe from the diaphragm and sing from the heart.
Speech, debate, theater, music. The performing arts teach valuable life lessons that typically aren't taught in the classroom. They help high school students learn leadership skills that prepare them to enjoy more satisfying, productive lives.
Hey, I've got a question for you. Who will you perform for?
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the high school in your community.
Welcome to Post-Game Wrap-Up on Central Ohio Sports Network.
The final from Warhawk Field, it's 24-16. It's your final score. Westerville Central with the win over Dublin Jerome. And the Warhawks and the students section get to go to ring the victory bell under the scoreboard in the north end zone. The Warhawks with the upset tonight here in this one. What an amazing game Westerville Central had. It started with the opening drive that went pretty big. It was 15 plays, 65 yards, 8 minutes, 8 seconds off the clock. Westerville Central had the game plan. They played that game plan to perfection. And then you thought that coming into the second half that Kevin King-Foku getting injured was going to be the downfall, but they held on. They found ways to hold on, get positive plays, turn things into their favor, and the Warhawks were able to come away with the win. Wes is down on the sidelines, he's actually out on the field trying to track down Greg Woods right now with Coach Frankie. We'll have them here coming up inside our post-game show momentarily, but Westerville Central with just an amazing night here at Warhawk Field. And Coach Frankie with high fives all around this one. Greg Woods played well. Moise Crozier played well. Ryler Moran had a great second half coming in for Kevin King-Foku. Julian Bradley, Jackson Mark, Nate Miller had a great game. I don't know who else you should talk to, but Greg Woods is obviously one of those big picks, and it looks like they were able to track down Greg Woods. And it looks like Wes is standing by with everyone down on the field. So let's send it down to Wes Minke.
All right, thanks, Brent. I'm out here with Coach Josh Frankie and Greg Woods. Obviously, huge game for both of you guys. Massive win for you guys as well on the home field. Greg, I'll start with you. 2 strip sacks, tackle for loss. What's that feel like in the locker room?
It's going to feel great. 3 sacks in total. That's awesome.
Yeah, you talk about that as well. Coach Frankie, you talk about your team. Offensively, you guys chipped away the entire game, ran the clock as much as you could, control the possession. What's that like against a team like Dublin Jerome who loves to throw the ball and air it out?
It's huge. Just to be able to, our offense is almost our best defense in that situation. Just being able to keep the ball out of their hands and maintain possessions. We might have got a little conservative in the second half, and that's something I need to look at and kind of judge myself on, and maybe should have took a couple shots there in the second half. But, Kevin King went down, and we were just trying to, again, try to get out of here with a win, and that's a heck of a team, and they're playing great football. Obviously, 10th ranked team in the state right now, so huge upset, and just couldn't be more proud of these guys. Defense came up huge. There was a lot of interceptions and fumbles tonight, so it's what we needed.
Yeah, Greg, what is that momentum like? You guys have a rough offensive possession. You guys come out there and need to change the tide. You see that big after the safety, right? You punt the ball down, 2 plays in, you guys get a strip sack, take over on their 2-yard line. What's that feel like for you guys?
It feels awesome because, we go out there and we know we have to keep the momentum going, and just getting a big play like that completely turns the game around.
Yeah, going into this game exactly against, like you said, the 10th ranked team in the state, what's kind of your mindset? What are you looking to do in that game?
Honestly, I'm just looking to do my job. I watch film. I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of. And it was just watching film and knowing what to do.
You and Moise Crozier have been hair on fire out there on the defensive side of the ball. What's that kind of build on? How do you build on that for next week? How do you keep growing in that aspect?
Honestly, just not taking over into next week, starting again on plane 0, watching film again, learning and getting better.
Coach, heading into next week, obviously a big matchup against Olentangy, second road game of the year. Your first road game, obviously you built up a lot of hype for it, a lot of drama, kind of had that letdown moment. What's that feel like? How are you going to go into game next week?
Listen, man, we're just a week-by-week mentality, and I think that's how we took this week. We didn't try to look at last week. We didn't try to think that we were somebody we're not. Obviously, we just keep stacking confidence. But this is 3-0 Dublin Jerome team and highly rated, and I think this tells our team listen, we can compete and play with anybody. So Olentangy's a really difficult team. It's a difficult challenge, and they have a heck of a defense, but. We just got to come up, show up, and play the type of football that we've been playing, and I think we're going to be all right.
Congrats both of you guys on the win. Back up to you, Brett.
All right, thank you, Wes. Congratulations to Coach Frankie, Greg Woods on the strip sacks. 3 sacks tonight for him, and the Warhawks come away with the win, 24-16. An amazing evening here at Warhawk Field. We'll have more of our post-game wrap-up next on Central Ohio Sports Network.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm former Major League Baseball All-Star Al Oliver. When I played, I tried to make it a simple game, like see the ball, hit the ball. But trust me, sports are not that simple. Try to remember that when you watch an interscholastic athletics contest where everyone is trying their best in a game they all love. So please be courteous and set an example that reflects positively on your school and community. Let's remember to respect the game.
Check the back seat. Check the back seat. All right, come here. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good. Because every year, dozens of children are forgotten in the backseat of a car by a parent or caregiver. All never thought it could happen to them. But with changes in routines, distractions, or a sleeping child, it can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. So get it in your head.
Check the back seat.
A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do? Text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Post Game Wrap Up on Central Ohio Sports Network.
Final score from Warhawk Field, 24-16. Westerville Central with the win over Dublin Jerome. Welcome back inside our post-game wrap-up. Brent Ford, Wes Minke. I couldn't see it from up here, but I'm sure the joy on Greg Wood's face and Coach Frankie's face was all that needed to be said in that interview, Wes.
Yeah, I don't think he stopped smiling the entire time. Greg Wood's just happiest guy in the world, smiliest guy on the planet. He's just living life from the best.
He's living football at a high level right now. He and Moise Crozier. Name any player on that defensive side, and they're all playing at a very high level right now. It was great to see the run game, the small passes, getting playmakers involved, the defense getting into the backfield, putting pressure on both quarterbacks that were in this game. Jerome had a little bit of an answer in the second half, running a little more up-tempo, but you could tell Lombardi was not comfortable in those situations.
Yeah, and I want to add to that, too. We talked about it. Who was the guy I was mentioning earlier on that just – lights out as a corner today?
Jackson Mark.
He was all over the field. He was hugging that boundary. I'm not even lying when I say this, but he was giving me like the NFL lockdown boundary corner kind of vibes. Nobody really came to his side. They didn't throw to his side. They didn't test him. He was rerouting every receiver he had. He was everywhere. He was an amazing player tonight. Big impact addition back for this Warhawks defense. And then on the other side of the ball, anything you could imagine from Kevin King goes washed away at halftime. Spirits are down. Everyone's worried. Omar Bangura steps up, makes a couple big plays, and saves this Warhawks offense again. So it's like everything that could have gone wrong kind of went wrong for the Warhawks, and they still found a way, still battled back. And that just goes back to Coach Frankie's mentality.
Yeah, the way he's led the program over the last few weeks, you can definitely see the improvement, and it's come a long way over 4 weeks, but it does not get any easier. Olentangy is next up on there. I don't know how their game ended up tonight, but they're a tough team. They're one of the top teams in the area right now, and that's just another test. And not only is it a test, but it's a test on the road. Your second road game of the year. You have to deal with the Braves on their home field. Repeat performance. Maybe Kevin King Foku gets a little better throughout the week and can go next Friday. That would be really helpful for the Warhawk offense. But you play like you did tonight, you're feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, and I think the biggest test of that game next week is going to be Nate Miller. We saw how I don't want to say it, but the lights kind of got to him week 1 against North at North, and that's been his only road game thus far. So through 4 weeks, he's played 1 road game and didn't really look great. So this is a big bounce-back performance, and I think what I mentioned down there, or at least I saw with Coach Frankie, I know you didn't get to see this down there on the field, but gave him a hug, said, way to do what you can do tonight. It's going to keep coming. So Nate Miller's going to keep getting more and more comfortable. This offense is going to keep growing and growing. And right now it's a lot of eye candy, a lot of motion at the line, like Coach Frankie mentioned last night to you. It's going to be a lot of pre-snap movement to try and get that defense to shift. But I think once Nate Miller gets comfortable enough, they don't need all that pre-snap motion. He can read that defense, find the pocket, and he'll be good to go.
Westerville Central with the win, 24-16. Big thanks to everyone who got us some info coming into this one. Coach Crabtree and his staff, Steve Bassford from the Jerome Celtics Athletic. They have a fancy name, Jerome Athletics Sports Network, I think it is. But we appreciate his help coming into the game as well. Coach Frankie with his time. Greg Woods for joining Wes in the postgame. Thanks to Wes for joining us. We'll remind you that coming up on Thursday, we'll have the Josh Frankie Coaches Show from Time and Change. We'll deep dive the recap of this one with Coach Frankie, and we'll also dip into Minky's mailbox for those deep questions for Coach Frankie next week. I know you love that segment.
Yeah, I'm feeling like we're going to get some special mail this week.
Special delivery, certified mail.
Overnight packages.
Overnight packages, express, return receipt required, signature required. We'll make sure we get all that signed by Coach Frankie. You know, my day job is a mailroom supervisor, so you name any special service, I know exactly what you're talking about.
This is perfect.
That's we're right up my alley with that. Westerville Central with the win, 24-16. Next Thursday, the Josh Frankie Coaches Show. Then next Friday night, Westerville Central back on the road at Olentangy. We'll have that for you right here on your home of the Warhawks. This is Central Ohio Sports Network. A big thanks to the Athletic Department of Westerville Central for our continued coverage of Warhawk football. I'm Brent Ford saying good night from Warhawk Field.
This has been Post-Game Wrap-Up on Central Ohio Sports Network. The preceding has been a presentation of Central Ohio Sports Network and may not be rebroadcast in any fashion without express written consent from Central Ohio Sports Network. Central Ohio Sports Network is not affiliated with any school district. For more information on Central Ohio Sports Network or how to advertise or sponsor with COSN, please visit cosnaudio.com. Central Ohio Sports Network. Sports coverage by the fans.